What's up, y'all? How's it going? I am about to stream this here. You can see this here. 100th anniversary of the Chinese Communist Party. So this will be 72 years after they started ruling. Okay, they just in 2019 celebrated their 70 years of rule over the Chinese, what they would say mainland. Which I guess if you lived in one of their colonies currently, you could maybe say that. Like if you lived in Hong Kong, unfortunately, right now. Love and solidarity to all my Hong Kong dudes and dudettes. Yeah. Maybe you could say that. But in Taiwan, I don't say that because it doesn't apply to us. Anyway, we're going to start streaming this. We're probably going to skip a little bit over some of this because you can see Xi Jinping starts talking around here. Yeah, you can see it's nice. Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, yeah, look at it. We got us like 40-something minutes here of nonsense, so we're going to kind of skip around, see what we can see. But let's hear. And I unfortunately couldn't find this video in Mandarin, which is what I wanted to do. But what I found was this is ABC News, aka the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, and what they're gonna do is dub over it, which is really rather unfortunate. But what can you do, folks? So we got.
This song is called Unity is Strength.
Unity is strength.
This specific piece of music from its
Very patriotic people.
rhythm. And it was written by Lucy in 1943.
I like the medals on these folks. Like they get rocking the polo with all the medals. That's hot.
In 1943 with lyrics by Mu Hong. It was written in North China's Hebei province.
Hebei.
4 years of China's war of resistance.
So this is looking real nationalistic here.
That's right. And
Nothing surprising about that.
power and passion conveyed through the song highlight the solidarity between the Ace Root Army.
Yeah, the Ace Root Army, very passionate. Got a lot of French horns there.
Strong foreign enemy, you absolutely need unity. It doesn't matter which political party you're from, which specific part of China you're from.
Yeah, which political party? You mean like the one that basically exists? Like, to be fair, there's
Aggression and invasion.
more than one,
Chinese took pride in
but
that moment.
there's one. Let's be honest about it.
Freedom, fighting for a better future of the nation and people.
Yeah, fighting for their. I mean, originally there's a debate about that, but now they're not fighting for the freedom. They're fighting for colonization. Oh, we got another song. We will not be listening to all these songs. Not a big fan. I like this color that they're rocking here. Nice, like coral. It's beautiful. Oh, they gotta have their little earpieces.
The song you're hearing now is
Oh.
called We Are Marching
Oh.
to the Great Road. It's a
Oh.
patriotic tune composed in 1962 by Li
I won't
Zhi,
say what
famous
all those
writer
children remind me
from
of.
Western China. The Great
Being
Road
forced to
was
sing the
very
patriotic
specific
songs at the end of a
because
bayonet. I mean, not officially a bayonet, but
Resolve and optimism.
being brainwashed into a
Follow the party.
weird
Pursue a bright
ethnocentrist national
the confidence
ideology. You all can draw your own parallels there.
is the construction.
that we mentioned earlier to achieve self-reliance, to shift from
That guy's got a nice outfit.
to an industrial revolution. And
I like this guy's glasses too here. In the, I guess you guys can't see my cursor. Let's see.
FCPC, in the lead up to celebrations, and this is to solidify people's identification with the party,
Huh?
to really brush up their knowledge on
there is certainly a lot of people. I'm glad that they kept the palms up there because that would look way worse with the palms down. That's all I'll say. Okay. I wish I could see my cursor, but it's honestly it's okay. We're gonna skip. It's just like a lot of people. I'll give them that.
Famous Chinese song composed in 1958, about a decade after the
Are those 5 panels they're rocking there? They got the Super Me's.
Also a very the party
Got the Super Me hats.
enthusiasm and devotion to the construction of socialist country.
These are all the females that they're trying to make marry all the men in the outlying provinces right now. They're trying to pay them to stay in the provinces. I hope I don't get a copyright strike for all this music. We'll see. We'll see if my stream gets shut down. It's like live music. This isn't like a band. They're very into this singing. But I guess that's what happens when you're... I mean, it's not uncommon, I guess, for theater kids. Which I assume these are all theater kids. Aww. Wow, so cute. It is pretty cool to watch that many people, like, doing something. Like, I'll be real about it. But, wait. Why are only half of them wearing ties? Look at that. The right half is not wearing ties. At least if they are, they're not red ties. Interesting. That's weird. Oh yeah, big old phallic obelisk. Yeah, these people aren't wearing ties either. The men in the back there might be, but they're wearing like the coral ties. I also don't know why they're wearing these so much coral. I hope I'm getting that. Maybe it's a sea foam. I hope I'm getting the colors right. Well, these are a little... Oh, see? Look. Some wearing ties, some not. Some have very thin ties. Some are... I mean, I guess those aren't ties, but anyway. Uh-huh. Yay! Wave like the queen. Wow, this is a lot of singing. I'm glad that I should have played this on like multiple times. This has got to be tiring. I like this. I like that chubby guy there. That guy back in the second row, second to the left. That's a guy I could be friends with. Maybe. I don't know. He seems a little too patriotic for me, but maybe I bet we could be friends. If we met at a bar, we'd be friends. Classic upper middle class, or I guess middle, I guess lower, even lower class people do it sometimes. For people who haven't been to Asia, I guess. If you haven't seen people wear these sleeves, no, they're not trying to stand their favorite basketball player, Allen Iverson, or whoever. I don't know who wears sleeves now in the NBA. But what they're wearing those for, funnily enough, they have a nice big gap because they have like short sleeves. But what they're trying to do is to keep the sun off their arms. So they're trying to stay very white because, I mean, just like anything else, like the dark skin is a sign of the working class, and everyone wants to be more bougie than they are. Am I right? Yes, among the favorites. Well, They're amped. Look how amped they are. Oh, here we got all the military people. They're screaming like crazy. All right, let's keep going. What's coming next? Let's build up. Let's build up. Ooh.
Honorary guards with national flags will march along the red carpet. And it looks like the weather is also cooperating on this day. There were
It looks very hazy.
but apparently it is holding up now.
That's right. And from where we stand, we can see that red flags are flying on the east and west sides of the Tiananmen Square.
Okay, this is too slow.
Big journey made by the CPC. And in a short while.
Oh, I forgot that's another thing. They're going to call them the CPC. I will not be doing that. I will be calling them the CCP, the Communist, Chinese Communist Party. This is a big thing that people like to get into arguments about if they're either in China or if they're Chinese stands. This is how they obfuscate arguments. As they go, oh, actually, it's the CPC, not the CCP, as if that's like some big argument that should even matter at all. It doesn't, by the way. It doesn't. It's a slightly different acronym, and that's what I use. And if you don't like it, well, sorry, folks. That's what I say.
Also for the nation and for the Chinese people, it grew from some over 50 members to 95 million strong.
Oh, there he is, the big boy himself.
We're watching live feed on Tiananmen Rostrom. The party's top leaders are entering the Tiananmen Rostrom. You can see Xi Jinping, General Secretary of the CPC Central Committee.
Uh-huh. The boy himself.
He, of course, is the Chinese president and also chairman of the
He's not the president. He's the chairman.
Xi Jinping is with other members of the Politburo, of the Standing Committee of the CPC Central Committee.
Mm-hmm.
There will be live footage from Tiananmen Square in central Beijing.
Old Central Beijing. All right. Well, again, moving very slow, looking very dictatorial.
The Standing Committee
Does have a nice gray suit. All these people standing over there are little plebs, letting them know that they control them. This is giving me like low-key Joe Manchin vibes on his yacht recently. But yeah, just like looking over the plebs.
Now here comes the air flag guards.
Yeah. Well, I guess not these helicopters, but you'll see some. Oh, this is not great. Just having like English in one ear and like very Beijing Mandarin in the other ear. Very difficult to listen.
Different numbers, very significant numbers. For example,
Oh, I got 100.
July 1st, and then 100 to mark the centenary of the party.
It's quite a clap. So you're going to see these homies. These are the people that have been flying into Taiwan's air defense identification zone while they pretend like, oh, 71. Because we've been around for 71, we've ruled for 71 years.
These are very significant historical and
of 15J20.
So yeah, these are the people that have been flying missions probably over Taiwan, or at least into our air defense identification zone, which is not technically Taiwanese airspace. Let's be clear about that, but is also a ramp up. Let's also be clear about that. So people want to talk about new Cold War ramp ups by the U.S., and I think those are fair enough things to talk about. But pretending like China isn't doing them as well is nonsense, and you're a partisan hack if that's how you talk about these things. Mm-hmm.
is on Tiananmen rostrum, along with other members of the Standing Committee of the
I thought this was supposed to be like,
now.
22, 1931, oh, 1941, oh, wow, 1951, oh, 1981, oh, 2011, 2021, wow.
Like to announce that the celebration of the 100th anniversary of the founding of the Communist Party of China
开始
now begins.
Hear that Beijing accent. 我们开始啊
Please all rise. The gun.
Oh, the old 21 gun salute. Pew, pew, pew.
56 cannons representing China's
sorry, the
56
50
ethnic groups are
Oh,
being
yeah.
fired 100 times.
56 ethnic groups, as if they care about anything but Han nationalism. Let's see how many times Xi Jinping mentions Han people. Well, the Huaren. It's all about Chinese ethno-nationalism. It's often caged in this. He may not actually. He may just talk about Chinese people. But when he says that, obviously, just like when a lot of people in the United States talk about Americans and how we're losing our American culture, is they're talking about white people, is what they're talking about, and how we can't, like Tucker Carlson says, we can't rebuild the United States with foreign babies, which we can because our values. Those are some sick AKs, though. Let's be serious. You can, because American values are not only held by white people. They're held by anyone who decides to integrate and bring their cultures into America, which is what America should be. It isn't always that, but it certainly is sometimes. But oh man, if I could get my hands on one of those silver AKs, like, I mean, I would rather have like a golden one, but you know, silver is pretty alright. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I mean,
70 guns were fired.
I can't tell if there's a yeah. I can't tell if they have foldable stocks. If they don't, like, it's not the best weapon, because you gotta just kind of you have no way to rest it against your shoulder. But hey, still a beautiful gun, and I would take one in a heartbeat.
Raise the national flag.
Raise the flag. Oh, let's see how well she. Look how excited he looks. I barely know the words of the song because I just. Oh, there's old Mao.
Please.
Sit down.
A joint congratulatory message. Personage without party affiliation.
Mm-hmm.
Now I would like to invite Vice Chairman of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress, Chairman of Revolutionary Committee of the Chinese Kuomintang, Comrade Wan Exiang, to deliver the message.
Mm-hmm. Revolutionary, because they're still having a revolution in China.
Distinguished CPC Central Committee, distinguished
Old Xi.
Secretary Xi Jinping,
100 years.
it has been a century of splendid history and remarkable achievement. As CPC celebrates its 100th anniversary, the Democratic Party's Association of Industry and Commerce public figures
It would be nice if they would let people vote then.
hereby pay our highest tribute and sincere congratulations to the CPC, the strong leadership of the Chinese Revolution, construction and reform.
Think about in a democracy. I mean,
In the past century,
certainly, there could be other parties that would say we need to respect their, this party's leadership, and we need to make sure that we uphold democracy. Maybe we might say that, but you certainly wouldn't say that as a democratic party, the party in power, thanking them as they don't hold any democratic elections and don't involve any other parties, really, besides allowing them to exist insofar as they worship at your feet.
From the initial founding to the endurous long march, from the war of resistance to consultation and founding of the nation, from the arduous tasks of early years to the 2 bombs and 1 satellite, from reform and opening up to the path of national rejuvenation.
Opening up, yeah. We have
Generation
a lot of people like Nixon and Carter to thank for that. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate that, especially in Taiwan. They really, really appreciate that. That's what I'll tell you.
and contribute to the national rejuvenation. Remarkable achievement. And
Yeah.
admire the
I gotta warn y'all. There's gonna be a lot of this. I've been reading a little bit of Xi Jinping thought recently, spelled obviously THOT. Xi Jinping's a thought. Sorry for. There's gonna be a lot of bad jokes in this. I've been reading some of his stuff recently, and it's nearly unreadable. Okay? That's what I'll say. It's nearly unreadable. It's so bad. Yeah. That's basically all I have to say. It's drivel. Like, all of it's just like, we want to have a beautiful social revolution, and we want to put the people first, and we want to grow the people. And it's like, so what about it? Honestly, sometimes it's similar to America. It's like, where are the policies, bro? What's your policy? They don't have any.
CPC's efforts
Because they rule with an iron fist.
to stand out when a nation's
Even more so than America with the two-party system.
three mountains to win the new democratic revolution, to establish the PRC. For the first time
Yes.
in history, the trans people have stood up and become masters of their own country.
Yes, definitely. Definitely the people have made a lot of decisions.
We truly admire the great CPC's efforts to build the country from scratch, lead the people
From scratch.
onto the socialist path, establish basic socialist system, construct independent and full-fledged industrial system and national economic system, and accumulate important experiences for socialist construction. We truly admire the great CPC
You gotta have the
usher in a new
few
era
token
that makes
ethnic
the
costumes there.
reform and opening up. The CPC is the one that founded, committed to, and developed socialism with Chinese characteristics.
Ah, the old classic line. Socialism with Chinese characteristics. Those Chinese characteristics are hyper-capitalism.
CPC's Central Committee, with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, always put people first, coordinate the national rejuvenation strategy.
People that worship him first.
It leads the country to adapt to new development stage, carry on new development concept, build new development pattern, and commit to high-quality development.
Yeah, high-quality development, like the schools that routinely collapse in China, and then not addressing those at all. Oh, that's another thing that I was thinking about, is all these people are unmasked, and let's be honest, because of their authoritarian crackdown, you can go see the videos of them welding people into their houses, putting live people in body bags to send to the crematorium, etc. They have definitely kept it much better under control than a lot of places. But they're still having cases. Taiwan, which didn't do any of that, is not. We did have a case 2 days ago? Yesterday? 2 days ago? I forget now. I'm very tired. I worked all day today. That case was already in quarantine. So we basically haven't had a case for pretty close to 2 weeks. And there were mistakes made here. This is not to be like, Taiwan is perfect and China is garbage. No, we're going to be honest about stuff because that's how we do it on FCP. Taiwan made mistakes, but, and we're a smaller country than China is, but we also didn't open up our borders and simultaneously, while we were letting people fly throughout the world, knowing that there was an outbreak, a potential future pandemic on our hands, we weren't just letting people fly out while infected, and we certainly weren't, I use we as the royal we, as in people in Taiwan, mainly the people in leadership, they weren't welding people into their homes. So I'm interested to see, I mean, we'll never know because they wouldn't say it, but I wonder how many infections took place at this thing. This is also this is like 3 months ago, so we would have heard about it, but obviously, again, we're not going to hear about it. So
to win the dual battles of disease prevention, control, and social and economic development.
Also, I should be clear. I do hope that they get it under control. I hope that people don't lose their lives while they're, trying to get it, quote unquote, get it under, or, well, they actually are trying to get it under control, of course. Like, no one wants to have these outbreaks within their population. But obviously, I do hope they get it under control. I hope everywhere gets under control, whether I like the countries or not, because I don't like average people dying. I don't want people to get sick and die. So, obviously, the normal people in the country not in charge of anything, yeah, I hope they are unaffected by it. So, I should also make that clear.
And win the battle against poverty and embark on the new journey of comprehensively building a modern socialist country. The national rejuvenation has taken a remarkable stride. The CPC-led system of multi-party cooperation and political consultation is a great political invention based on Chinese reality. 70 years ago, the democratic parties and public figures without party affiliations collectively and voluntarily chose to work under
Totally voluntarily.
as the witnesses characteristics.
Definitely not at the barrel of a gun.
Think together, stand together, and work together with the CPC.
Should definitely work together, but I don't think that it was voluntary.
Capable to achieve that goal than ever before. We firmly believe that with the steering of General Secretary Xi Jinping, with the guidance of Xi Jinping's thoughts for socialism, the Chinese nation will overcome all difficulties that come our way. Let us unite close around the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, act as loyal advisors, assistants, and colleagues to the CPC in order to make greater contribution to comprehensively build a modern socialist country and realizing the Chinese dream of great national rejuvenation. We wish eternal youth for the CPC. Socialism
Yeah,
plus
just
Chinese
cheering for the other party.
China Democratic League, China Democratic National Construction Association,
Oh my gosh.
public figures without party affiliations. July 1st, 2021.
Today,
我们站在
standing
天安门
at
广
the
场，
Tiananmen
Oh.
Square,
紧贴着祖
we are
国的
this
心
close
脏。
To
the heart of the motherland. Today, we praise people's
This
heroes
is
for their glorious
peak
achievements,
theater kid energy.
witness their dreams come true.
Zheng Han.
Today,
是春的礼
CPC
赞，
The Mong.
To 100 years of history, the Communist Party of China is in the prime life. Today, we make a promise to the party on behalf of the Go With the Party. Forge ahead to our destination.
Oh,
with
she's
one
screaming
heart
now.
To the party. My mom tells me that the look of the CPC in everyone's heart is the same, a glorious image. The party is the rising sun, dispelling darkness, bringing light to make our lovely country.
Cute country is what they said.
And the points of the direction to steer the cause of the country to the future. My teacher tells me that a century ago, the Communist Party of China, was born in the old country, and it spreads the fair of faith to shine brightly with the light of truth. This light inspires the revolutionary ideals.
Again, like what I say, just nonsense. I don't really have time for this.
United together and realize China from regaining dignity to lunar submersible examples of major projects of China amazing the world.
Oh my goodness, it's really hard to listen to this. I apologize that you guys have to again, I was trying to get this with subtitles so it wouldn't be three voices talking, just like when we did the German debates. It's really hard to listen to when I'm trying to understand what they're saying in Mandarin, and then some lady is screaming in my ear, "That's like my teacher told me." And it's yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry.
We are ready to realize the second centenary goal. To fight for the aspiration. Stay used.
So there we had slam poetry with Chinese characteristics. That's interesting. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Chinese President, Chairman of the Central Military Commission, Comrade Xi Jinping, to deliver important speech.
Oh, 同志们. I would like to say that 同志们 in China now is, interestingly enough, also sometimes uses a slang for gay, which I think is kind of based. Like, that's pretty sick. And I think that we should make the Communist Party gay again. What's up, Abby? You came just in time to see old Shidada talk. Are you excited? Are you excited to see old Shidada talk about how great the CCP is? Oh, I'm sorry. The CPC is? How great is it that it's so great? Oh my goodness. It's so cool. Oh my goodness. Where did I'm trying to look for my... Where did I'm trying to find where this went. It's gonna be pretty good, I gotta say. All right, let's take this out of here. Hold on, I'm gonna put the chat up here real quick. Let me see. No. Whatever, brother. That's fine. Do 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 do. Let's see. Let's do 100 and this. Let's do 800. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right, I got it. I got it. Don't worry, y'all. There you go. No, it's not frozen. I was just trying to get your chat up here so everyone can see what you're saying, so it doesn't just look like I'm a crazy person talking to myself. Okay? All right, here we go.
Today, the 1st of July, is a great and solemn day in the history of both the Communist Party of China and the Chinese nation. We gather here to join all party members.
Oh, I feel like we need to speed this up.
All ethnic groups around the country.
Oh, all ethnic groups again.
in
Really,
celebrating
he
the
definitely really cares about the Uyghurs that he's imprisoning right now in Xinjiang. He definitely really cares about the Tibetans that he's locking up. Yeah, he's very concerned about the ethnic minorities.
of the party.
You're so mean, Abby.
Party has traveled over 100 years of struggle and looking ahead to the bright prospects of the rejuvenation of the Chinese nation. To begin, let me extend warm congratulations to all party members on behalf of the CPC Central Committee.
Clap or be killed, Abby. Clap or be killed.
On this special occasion,
You're definitely right. He's definitely meaner than
it
you.
is my honor
I'm just kidding anyway.
to
You're
declare on behalf of the party and the people that through the continued efforts of the whole party and entire nation,
He speaks so slow like Obama.
realized the first centenary goal of
Let me tell y'all, folks. Let me tell you. This is China with Chinese. It's socialism with Chinese characteristics. I'm Obama. 我是Obama. 这是CPC.
a moderately
Because Obama speaks so slowly. That's how he always speaks. I'm gonna be serious with you folks. This is what I gotta say. That we're gonna really revolutionize healthcare. I'm mixing with Bush now, but anyway. But she is speaking so slow. Look, I have it on 1.25 right now. I'm thinking about turning up to 1.5, which I'm gonna do now, because he's speaking so slowly.
prosperous society in all respects. This means that we have brought about a historical solution to the problem of absolute poverty in China, and we are now
Lol. I'm gonna slow it down a little bit. They did not bring about a solution to absolute poverty. Their poverty line is $1 a day, $1 a day, and there are still people living below that poverty line. So miss me with that fucking bullshit about China has solved absolute poverty. And I hope they do, and I hope every country does. But the thing is, they haven't. They're crushing unions. They're making sure that they can push out. Not to mention the fact that they're using Uyghur slave labor in a bunch of their factories. It's bullshit, folks. Sorry. Like, I hate to break it to you. Just as messed up as the U.S. is, so is China. They're both fucking up royally because they're both deeply invested in hypercapitalism without any checks or balances on it, and that's just the way it is.
Marching in confident strides toward the second centenary goal of building China into a great, modern, socialist country in all respects.
Yeah, in all aspects, except for the ones that have to deal with, hypercapitalism.
Great and glorious accomplishment of the Chinese nation for the Chinese people.
What is a big accomplishment? The fact that they're just they've been around for 100 years. How is that an accomplishment for the Chinese people? Oh, the murdering of intelligent people. That was a really big, yeah. The Great Leap Forward. Ooh, yeah, it was really great for the Chinese people.
Comrades and friends.
同志们.
The Chinese nation is a great nation.
By the way, I understand why people still use the word comrade in like leftist circles, but this is why I can't use that word. It's because people like Xi Jinping use the word comrade. 同志们. Oh, 同志们. 我们要资本主义.
With a history of more than 5,000 years.
阿比同志.
China has made indelible contributions to the progress of human civilization. After the Second World War of
同胞们.
However, China was gradually reduced to semi-colonial, semi-feudal society and suffered
So gross.
great ravages than ever before. The country endured intense humiliation. The people were subjected to great pain, and the Chinese civilization was plunged into darkness. Since that time, national rejuvenation has been the greatest dream of the Chinese people and the Chinese nation.
I like that guy. Oh, look at this guy on the left. Look at those sunglasses. Fly. Drip. Drip check.
To save the nation from peril, the Chinese people put up a courageous fight. As no
Oh,
matter
man. Sunglasses game off the chain right now.
hatred
Yeah, he's
sought to
not
dominate
joking. I mean, he's not joking. He's just lying. He's just talking out of his ass.
together. The Taiping Heavenly Kingdom movement, the reformer movement in 1898, the Yihetuan movement, and the revolution of 1911 rose one after another, and a variety of plans were devised to ensure national survival, but all of these ended in failure. China was in urgent need of new ideas to lead the movement, to save the nation, and a new organization to rally revolutionary forces. With the salvos of Russians' October Revolution in 1917, Marxism-Leninism was brought to China. Then, in 1921, as the Chinese people and Chinese nation were undergoing
It should be remembered, first of all, that Marxism is a little bit different, but Leninism, and then what followed after it, obviously, with Stalinism, especially Stalinism, and the USSR, was a colonizer. Like, they colonized other states, just like China is doing. So if we want to talk about, like, actual Marxist principles, that's one thing. If we're talking about what the USSR did, including, by the way, I know a lot of people will be like, ooh, but what about the ROC? Yeah, the ROC was dog shit. Yeah, Chiang Kai-shek is a murdering piece of shit, and so is his son, Jiang Jingguo. They're both terrible, awful people. But guess what? They were both good friends of the Soviets. So keep that in mind if you're going to talk about that nonsense.
great awakening and profound social changes in history, was becoming closely integrated with the Chinese workers' movement.
Not for the whole time, let's be fair. They were friends of them for a good little while, though. They were literally backing Jiang Jieshi, Chiang Kai-shek, during a good part of his time in China. So don't fool yourselves.
The Communist Party of China was born.
中国产生了共产党，
The founding of a Communist Party
这是
in
开
China
天辟地的
was an
大事变，
epoch-making event
深刻改变了近代以后
which profoundly changed the course
中
of
华民
Chinese
族发展
history
的
in
方向
modern
和进
times.
程，深刻改变了中国人民
Transformed
和
the
中华
future
民族
of
的
the
前
Chinese
途
people
和
and
命
nation.
运，深刻改变了
This is true.
世界发展的趋
And
势
altered the
和
landscape
格局。
of world development.
中国共产党一经诞生，
Since the very day of its founding,
This is all. I mean, that part is not necessarily wrong. Like going from the Qing Dynasty to the ROC government / the Chinese Civil War / the CCP did revolutionize how China was developing, like he said, but it didn't get that much better. I mean, the problem with the Qing Dynasty was that it was, authoritarian, and the problem with the CCP is that it's authoritarian, and the problem with the ROC is that it was authoritarian. The good thing for Taiwan is that the ROC is not like the only ruling party now. Actually, they have a full-fledged democracy, a multi-party democracy, in fact, which is a refreshing change from things like this, where there are multiple parties, but they all lick the boot of Xi Jinping.
就把为中国人民谋幸福、
the party has made
为
seeking
中华民族
happiness for
谋
the
复
Chinese
兴
people
确
and
立为自己
rejuvenation
的
for the Chinese
初心
nation
使命。
its aspiration and mission.
100年来，
All the
中国
struggle,
共产党
sacrifice,
团结带领中国人
and
民
creation
进
through
行的
which the party
一切奋斗、
has united and led the
一切
Chinese
牺牲、
people over the past
一切
100
创造，
years
归结起来就是一个主题：
has been tied together by
实现
one
中
ultimate
华民
theme,
族伟大复
bringing
兴。
about the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation.
Nonsense. What does that mean? What does it mean to bring about the rejuvenation of the Chinese
To
nation?
realize national
中国
rejuvenation,
共产党团结
Oh, let's hear. Let's hear.
带领中
the
国人
party
民
united and led the
浴
Chinese
血
people
奋战，
in fighting
百
bloody
折不挠，
battles with unyielding
创造了
determination,
新民主主义革命
Huh?
的
achieving
伟大成
great
就。
success in the new democratic revolution.
Oh, very democratic. Oh, this is democratic. Abby, did you know that they're democratic in China? Did you know that the people all get to vote? Oh, no, sorry. No, they don't. Never mind.
北伐战争、
Through the Northern
土
Expedition,
地革命战争、
the Agrarian Revolutionary
抗日
war,
战争
the war of resistance
解放
against
战
Japanese
争
aggression, and the war of
以
liberation,
武装的革命
we fought.
反对武装的反。
Japanese aggression is a real thing. Let's be. No, I mean, it was a real thing. That is true. What happened in Nanjing was pretty messed up, and yeah, some of the stuff that the Japanese did in Manchuria was also pretty messed up. Let's be honest about that. However, what Mao did to his own people also was pretty horrific. So, okay. And same thing with later Chinese Communist chairman. So,
反革命、
Armed counter-revolution with armed
推翻
revolution,
帝国主义、
toppling the three
封建主义
mountains of
官僚资本主
imperialism,
义，
feudalism,
三座
and
大山，
bureaucratic capitalism.
建立了人
the bureaucratic capitalism is still happening. It just has Chinese characteristics, which are authoritarian characteristics. So if they piss off the Chinese government, then they just topple them. Most comrades don't really have a choice, though. Some, you're right. Just like in Animal Farm, some comrades are more equal than others. But a lot of them, they simply have the choice to follow Xi Jinping or not be inside or outside of the wall, but up against the wall, we'll say.
民当家 家作
and
主的
establishing the
中
People's
华人民共和国
Republic of China,
实现了民族独立、
which made the
人民
people
解放。
masters of the country. We
新
thus
民主主义
secured
革
our
命的胜
nation's
利
independence and liberated our
彻
people.
底结束了
The victory of the new
旧中
democratic
国
revolution put an end
半殖民地、
to China's
半
history
封建社会的
as a
历史，
semi-colonial, semi-feudal society.
彻底结束了旧中国一盘散沙。
China is still a colonial society in the fact that they colonize other nations and desire to colonize other nations, including Xinjiang, aka East Turkestan, Tibet, Inner Mongolia, Hong Kong, and they hope next, Taiwan.
To the state of total disunity that existed
彻底
in
废
South
除了
China,
列强强加给中国的不平
and
等
to
条
all
约
the unequal
和
treaties
帝国主义
imposed
在中
on
国
our
的
country
一切特
by
权。
foreign powers and all the privileges and
实现
imperialist powers
中华
enjoyed
民族
in
伟大
China.
复兴创
It
造了
created
根本
the
社会条
fundamental
件。
social conditions for realizing national
中
rejuvenation.
国共产党
That is not necessarily wrong. There were some foreign powers, like I said, the Japanese, the English, they definitely did try to exploit China, and that was wrong, and they should have been expelled. But that doesn't mean that the CCP gets to act. I mean, they do de facto, but it shouldn't mean that they get to act as imperialist, capitalist extractors of their own citizens.
和中国人民
Through tenacious
以
struggle,
英勇顽强的奋斗，
the party and the Chinese
向世
people
界
showed the
庄严
world
宣告：中国人民
that
站起
the
来
Chinese
了！
people
中
had
华民族
stood up,
任人宰
and
割
the、
饱
time
受
in
欺
which
凌
the
的时
Chinese
代
nation could
一
be
去不
bullied
复
and
返
abused
了。
by others was gone forever.
为了实现中华民族伟大复
To
兴，
realize national rejuvenation,
中国共产党团结带领
the
中国人
party
民
united and led the Chinese
自力更
people
生，
in
发
endeavoring
愤
to
图强，
build a stronger China with a
创造
spirit
了社会主义革
of
命和建设的
self-reliance,
伟大成就。
achieving great success in socialist revolution
我
and
们进行
construction
社会主义革命，
by carrying out socialist revolution,
消灭在中国延续几千年的
we eliminated
封
the
建、剥
exploitative
削、压迫
and
制度，
repressive feudal system that had
确立
persisted in China
社
for
会主
thousands of
义
years
基本制度，
and established socialism as
推
our
进
basic system.
社会主义建设。
In the process of
Socialism? Do they have real socialized medicine? Do they have socialized wages where people are paid for their work? Nope. They import companies like Nazi companies, like Volkswagen, and also terrible companies, even from nations that I really like Taiwan. Like Foxconn, where they have suicide nets, where people are prevented from jumping to their death because they work such long hours. So that doesn't sound like worker-controlled or worker-operated means of production to me.
socialist construction,
战胜帝国主义、霸权主
we
义的
overcame
颠覆
subversion,
破坏，
sabotage, and armed provocation by imperialist and
实
hegemonic
现了中华
powers,
民族有史以来
and
最
brought
为
about
广泛
the
而深
most
刻的
extensive
社会变革，
and profound social changes in
实
history
现了
of the
一穷
Chinese
二
nation.
白、人口众多
This
的
great
东
transformation
方
of
大国
China from a poor
大
and
步迈
backward
进社会
country
主
in
义
East
社会的伟大
with a
飞跃，
large population into a socialist
为
country
实现
late
Oh, she's going after his own country. He's saying they were backwards as fuck.
down the
中
fundamental
华民
political
族伟大复
conditions
兴
and the
奠定
institutional
了根本
foundation
政治
necessary
前提和制度
for
基础。
realizing national rejuvenation.
中国共产党和中国人民以英勇顽强的奋斗，
Through tenacious struggle,
向世
the
界
party and the Chinese
庄严
people
宣告：
showed the world
中国人民不但善于破坏
that
一
the
个旧
Chinese
世界，
people were capable of not only
也善于
dismantling the
建设
old
一个新世
world
界
but。also building a new one.
只有社会主义，
That only
才能救中
socialism
国。
could save
只有
China,
中国特色社会
and
主
that
义
only socialism
才
with
能
Chinese
发展中国。
characteristics could develop China.
Socialism with hypercapitalism is the only way we can save China.
为了实现中华民族伟大复兴，
To realize national rejuvenation,
中国共产党团结带领中国人民
the party united
解放思
and
想
led
锐意
Chinese
进取，
people in freeing the
创
mind
造
and
了
forging
改
ahead,
革开放和社
achieving
会主
great
义现代
success
化建
in
设的伟大
reform,
成就。
opening up, and socialist
我
modernization.
们实现新中国成立以来
We
党的历
established
史
the
上
party's
具有深
basic
远意
line
义的
for the primary
伟大
stage
转折，
of socialism,
确立党在社会主义初级阶段的基本路线，
resolutely
坚定不移
advanced
推进
reform
改革开放，
and opening up,
战胜来自各方面的风险挑战，
overcame risks and challenges from every
坚持
direction,
I feel like this translator is skipping over some words here.
发展
founded,
捍卫
upheld,
中国
safeguarded,
特色社会
and
主义，
developed socialism with Chinese characteristics,
实现了从高度集中的计划经济
Maybe
thus
not.
bring about
到
a
充满
major
活力
turn
的
with
社会主
far-reaching
义
significance
市场经济体制，
in the history of the party since the founding of the
从
PRC.
封闭半封闭
This enabled
到
China to
全方位
transform
开
itself
放的
from a
历
highly
史性转变，
centralized plan economy to a
实
socialist
现了
market economic,
从生产
brimming
力
with
相对
vitality,
落后的
and
状
from a
况，
country that was
到
largely
经济总
isolated to
量
one that is
跃
open to
居
the
世界第
outside
二的
world
历史性突破，
across the board. It also
实
enabled
现
China
了
to achieve
人民生
the
活
historic
Again, this is nonsense. There's no worker-owned means of production within China. It's nonsense. This is as performative as what I talked about earlier with Gavin Newsom saying like we need to have non-gendered toy aisles. It's just yeah, toys are not gendered anyway and they shouldn't be, but like pretending like that's like you're doing something big and spectacular by doing this is nonsense and it's obfuscation.
historical leap from a
从温
country
饱
with
不
relatively
足
backward productive
到总
forces
体小
the
康，
world's second largest economy, and to make the historical
向
transformation of
全面
raising the
小
living
康的
standards of its
历
people
史性
from
发
bare
展，
substance to an overall level of
为实
moderate
现中华民
prosperity,
族伟大
and
复
then
兴
ultimately to
提
moderate
供了
prosperity in
充
all
满新
respects.
的活力。
Moderate prosperity. So there's stories of CCP officials, children driving their Audis into places where they're not supposed to be, for instance, the Forbidden City, while people starve in the countryside. But yes, yeah, it's we're doing okay. Yeah, it's definitely acceptable. This is not to say that other countries are doing acceptable. Like, this is not a defense of the United States. They're doing also terribly, probably falling backwards in a lot of cases. But it doesn't work. No, you can't claim, wow, we're doing great for our citizens while a number of them starve and we enslave a number of others because they're not the approved ethnic minority while we do a cultural genocide.
活力的
These achievements
体制
fuel
保
the
证
push
和
toward
快速
national
发展的
rejuvenation
物质
by
条件，
providing institutional guarantee imbued with new
中国共
energy
产党
as well
和
as
中国人
material
民
conditions for rapid development.
以英勇顽强的奋斗
Through tenacious
向
struggle,
世界庄严宣
the
告，
party and the trans people show the world
改革开放
that by
是
pursuing
决定
reform
当代
and
中国前
opening up,
途命运的关键一招。
a crucial move
中
in
国
making
大踏
China
步
what it is
赶上了
today,
时代。
China has caught up with the times in great strides.
Yeah, caught up with the times. Great strides. Very, very
为了
good.
实现中华民族伟大复兴
To，realize national rejuvenation,
中国共产党团结带领中国人民
the party has united
自信
and led
自
the
强
Chinese people in
守正
pursuing a
创
great
新
struggle, great
统
project,
筹红蓝伟大斗争、
a great
伟
cause,
大工程、
and a great
伟
dream
大事业，
through a
伟
spirit
大梦想，
of self-confidence,
创造了新
self-reliance,
时代中国特色
and
社会主义的
innovation,
伟大成就。
achieving great success for socialism with Chinese characteristics
党的
in the
18
new
大以
era.
来，
Following
中
the
国特
party's
色社会
18th
主义
National
进入
Congress,
新时代。
so
Of course they are, Abby, because you know what happens if you don't clap? Up against the wall.
socialism with Chinese
我们
characteristics
坚持和
entered
加
a
强
new
党的
era.
全面领导，
In this new era, we
统
have
筹推
upheld
进
and strengthened the
无危
party's
体
overall
总体布
leadership,
局，
ensured
协调
coordinated
推进
implementation of the
四个
five-sphere
全面
integrated plan
战略布
and
局
the，four-pronged
坚持
comprehensive
和完善
strategy,
中国特色社会主义
upheld
制
and
度。
improved the system of social
Exactly. Listen to all these things that he says. He's just talking about all these buzzwords. None of these things actually mean anything. Oh, we've implemented the 5 eagle strategy and the 4 woodpecker strategy, and that's how we've ended poverty. Yeah, exactly. You get sent to either a black site, or you get sent into forced labor, or you get murdered in one of their mobile death trucks, because they have. I mean, you all can Google it right now. Google Chinese mobile uh, execution trucks, whatever they're called, like their death penalty vans or whatever it is. Like, you can Google it, you can find it. They literally pick people up and just like give them lethal injections, essentially. I mean, I don't know actually how they murder people. They probably, what they do, because they have credible allegations of organ harvesting, is probably like use some sort of local anesthetic to make it sure that people can't move, and then just harvest their organs. But
Socialism with Chinese characteristics, modernize China's system and capacity for governance,
坚持依规治党，
remained
形
committed
成比较
to
完善的党
exercising
内
rule-based
法规体
governance
系，
over the party
建
and
设
developed a sound
战
system
胜
of
一系
interparty
列重大
relations.
风险挑战，
We have overcome
实
a
现
long list of major
第一
risks
个
and challenges,
百年奋斗目标，
fulfilled the first centenary goal,
明确实现第二个百年奋斗目
and
标
set
的
up
战略
strategic
安排
steps。for achieving the second
党
centenary
和国
goal.
家事业取得历史性
All the
成就
historic， achievements and changes
发生历史性
in the
变革，
cause of the party and the
为实
country
现中华民
have
族伟大复兴
provided
提供了
the cause
更
of
为
national
完善的
rejuvenation
制
with
度保
more
证，
robust institutions,
更为坚实的物质基础，
stronger material
更为
foundations,
主动的精神力
and a
量。
source of inspiration for
中国
taking
共
greater
产党
initiative.
和中国人民以英勇顽强的
Through
奋斗，
tenacious struggle,
向世界
the party
庄
and
严
the
宣
Chinese
告：
people have shown the world
中华民族迎来了
that the Chinese
从
nation
站起来
has
富
achieved
起
a
来
tremendous
到
transformation
强起来的
from
伟大
standing
飞
up
跃，
and growing
实现
prosperous
中
to
华
becoming
民族
strong,
伟大复兴
and that China's
进入了
national
不
rejuvenation
可逆
has
转的
become a
历史进程
historical。inevitability.
those kids have no idea what's going on. This is like me at like a middle school,
Over the past 100 years,
中国共产党
like
团结带领人民
when my teachers were talking at like in my middle school auditorium. I'm just like, oh, okay.
providing the most magnificent
They're just doing like a
platform in the modern
Jeb
Chinese
Bush, like,
中华民族
please clap.
千年历史上
Now,
最辉煌的史诗，
Mao Zedong expressed when he wrote, "Our minds
这
grow
100 年
stronger for the
来
martyr's
开辟的
sacrifice,
伟大道路，
daring to make the sun's and moon
创
shine
造
in
的
your sky.
伟大事
The
业，
great paths we have pioneered,
取
the
得的
great cause we
伟大
have
成就，
undertaken, and the great achievements we have
必将
made over the past
载
century,
入
Nonsense. He's just talking nonsense. None of this means anything.
the
发
development
展史册
of the Chinese nation and human civilization."
Absolutely nothing. Again, he's talking nonsense. He's just saying words that Mao Zedong said, but they didn't actually accomplish anything. That's why Mao Zedong died and basically disappeared, and then his wife was imprisoned because they didn't actually. And I mean, not that Mao Zedong did a really great job. I think in some case, I mean, he's a monster, but in a lot of, there's also a lot of people that criticize him too strongly. I think actually, I think in some ways he might have believed his own. He might have been high on his own supply. Let's say that. But his fourth wife was trying to carry on his legacy. She was a retributive boop, but yeah, she was also just like imprisoned with a gang of 4 and you know, disappeared basically. So, you know, what are you gonna do? It's absolutely ridiculous.
同志们、朋友们，
Comrades and friends,
100年前，
100 years ago,
中国共产党的先驱们
the pioneers
创建
of
了
communism
中国共
in
产党，
China established the Communist
形
Party of
成了
China
坚持
and
真理、
developed the great
坚守
founding spirit
理
of
想
the、party, which is comprised
践行
of the
初心、
following principles:
担
upholding
当使
truth
命、
and ideals,
不怕牺
staying
牲、
true to our original
英
aspiration,
勇斗争、
and founding mission,
对党忠诚、
fighting bravely
不
without
负人
fear
民的
of sacrifice,
伟大建
and
党精神，
remaining loyal to the party
这
and
是
faithful to the people.
中国共产党的精神之源。
This spirit is the party's source of strength.
100年来，
Over the past 100
中
years,
国共产党弘扬伟
the
大
party
建党精
has
神，
carried forward this great founding
在
spirit
长期奋斗中，
through its
构建
protracted
起中国
struggles.
共产党人的精神谱
It has
系，
developed a long line
锤
of
炼出
inspiring
鲜明的
principles for
政
Chinese
治品
communists
格，
and tempered distinct
历史
political
川流不
character.
息，精神代代相传。
As history
Look at all these people. People who are just not paying attention. They're just here to show up. I mean, drip. Like this dude in the middle with his brown and white shirt, that's drip. But don't care. They don't care.
我们
forward,
要
the
继续
spirit
弘
of the
扬
party has been
光荣
passed
传
on
统，
from generation to
永
generation.
续
We will
红
continue
色
to
血脉，
promote our glorious tradition and
永远
sustain
把
our
伟大建
revolutionary
党精
legacy
神
so
继
that
承下
the
去，
great founding spirit of
发
the
扬
party
光
will
大。
always be kept alive and carried forward.
Oh, I'm supposed to clap. Oh, oh, this guy right here. Guy right next to the two ladies, right here on the right. He forgot to clap. That's up against the wall.
同志们、朋友们，
Comrades and friends,
100年来我们取得的一切成就，
we owe all that we
是
have
中国共产
achieved
党
over the past 100 years
中国人民
to the concerted
中华
efforts
民
to
族
the Chinese communists,
团结奋
the
斗的
Chinese
结果。
people, and the Chinese nation.
以毛泽东同志
Chinese communists
Oh, yo, what's going on with your tie, bro? What happened to your tie? Maybe he met with a consort before he came here. He forgot to fix his tie. That's not a good look.
邓小平
I mean, I think it's fly,
Mao
but
Zedong, Deng
江
Xiaoping,
泽
Not great.
民同志
let's talk about Deng Xiaoping for a second. Absolute, like, insane capitalist, Deng Xiaoping. Like, uber capitalist. And also started to open up China and then immediately did, like, a huge crackdown. Because, why? Because people started getting too much freedom, and so he lost his mind. So, I mean, what do you expect? What do you expect to happen? I mean, literally, Tiananmen Square happened under Deng Xiaoping. So did the Freedom Wall, because they opened up and they were like, hey, what if we actually tried a little bit of freedom of speech? And then Deng Xiaoping was like, no, that's a bad idea, because people start critiquing me and my government, and that is a bad look, because we get dumped on.
Jiang Zemin,
胡锦涛同志
and Hu Jintao
为主要代表
as
的
their chief
中国共产党人，
representatives
为中华民族
have made
伟大复兴
tremendous and historic
建立了
contributions
标炳史册的伟大功
to
勋
the。rejuvenation of the
我们
Chinese
向他们表
nation.
示崇高
To
的
them,
敬意。
we express our highest respect.
Hashtag respect. Hashtag God's plan. All right. We're about an hour in. We're gonna take a 5-minute potty break. So, just bear with me. You guys can take a potty break too, and I will be right back, y'all. Potty break is over. I just saw a huge spider on my wall, by the way, probably about the size of my palm, which means, I don't know, seems to sign to me that Xi Jinping doesn't know what he's talking about.
此时此刻，
Let us take this moment
我们深切怀念
to cherish
为中国革命建设改
of
革、
comrades
为中国共产党
毛泽东
建立、巩固、发展做出重大贡献的毛泽东、周恩来、刘少奇、
刘少奇、
朱德、
朱德、
邓小
邓小
平、
平、
陈云同志等
and other
老一
veteran
辈
revolutionaries
革命
who
家
contributed greatly to China's revolution
深切怀
construction
念
and reform, and to
为
the
建立
founding,
捍卫
consolidation, and
建设
development
Consolidation of
the Communist
power.
Party of
英
China.
勇牺牲的
Let us cherish the
革命
memory
先烈
of the revolutionary martyrs who
深
bravely
切怀
laid
念
down their lives to establish,
为改
defend,
革开
and
放
develop the People's
和
Republic.
社会主义现代
Let
化
us
建设
cherish the memory
英
of
勇
those
献
who
身的
dedicated their lives
革
to
命烈士
reform, opening up, and
深刻怀
socialist
念
modernization.
近
And
代
let
以
us
来
cherish the
为
memory
民族独立
Opening up meaning communist and then immediately
to nationalism,
mentioning
national
socialist.
independence,
Idiotic.
and the
人人之
liberation
事
of people
他们
in modern times.
为祖国和民族建立的丰功伟绩，
Their great
永载史
contributions
册
to our motherland and
他
our
们的
nation
崇高精神
will be
永远
immortalized in
铭
the
记
annals
在
of
人民
history,
心中
and their noble spirits will live on forever in the hearts of the Chinese people.
Checks notes.
是历史的创造者。
The people are the
是
true
真正的英雄。
heroes, for it is they who create history.
我代表党中央
On behalf of the
向
CPC
全
Central
国
Committee,
广大工
I
人
would like to
农
pay
民
my highest
知识
respects
分子
to workers, farmers, and
向各民主
intellectuals
党派
across the country,
和无党派人士
to
各
other
人民
political
团体
parties, public figures
各界
without
爱国
party
人士
affiliation, people's
向
organizations,
人民解放军指战
and
员、
patriotic figures from all
武警
sectors
部
of
队官
society,
兵
to all members of the
公
People's
安干
Liberation
警
Army,
和消防
the People's
救
Armed
援队伍
Police
指战员
Force, and Public Security Police,
向全体
and the
社会主
fire
义劳动者
and rescue services,
向
to
统一
all
战线
socialist working
广大
people,
成员
and
是
to
以
all members of the
崇高的
United
敬
Front.
意
Everyone. Shouldn't all those people look how fast the military are clapping? Boo! Gotta clap faster. They don't clap fast.
To extend
澳门特别行政
Gotta
区
clap fast.
to
Get put up
compassion
against that
台
wall.
湾同
in
胞
Hong Kong and Macau.
Oh, fuck you. Tongbo? Ooh, Taiwan
致
Kongbo?
的问候
Overseas Chinese.
All the Taiwanese people are like, eat a whole bag of boop.
向一切同
And
中
I
国
would
人
like
民友好
to
相处，
express my heartfelt
关
gratitude
心和支持
to
中国
people
革命
and friends from
建
all
设
around the world
改革事
who
业的
have shown
各国
friendship
人民和朋
to the
友，
Chinese people
是
and
以
understanding
衷
and
心的
support
谢意
for China's endeavors in revolution, development, and reform.
Well, the normal people are a little bit more
同志们
luan,
朋友
just
们
like
Comrades and
normal
friends.
people. They don't look as uptight as all the other shots they've shown, which is why they didn't zoom in on their faces.
Ensuring that we stay true to this mission is more difficult
我们要
task.
用历史
By
映
learning
照
my
现
opinion.
实，
history, we can understand
远观
what
未来。
powers rise and fall. Through the mirror
从
of
中国共
history,
产党的
we can
百
find
年奋斗
where
中
we currently stand,
Let's hope that this is a power that rose and soon falls.
看
gain
清楚过
foresight
去
into the future.
我们为什么能够
Looking
成
back
功，
on the party's
弄
100-year
明白
history,
未
we
来
can see why
我
we
们
were
怎样才
successful in
能
the
继
past
续成功，
and how we can continue to
从而在
succeed
新
in
的
the
征
future.
程上更加坚
This
定，
will ensure that
更
we
加
act
自觉地
with
牢记
greater
初心使命，
resolve and
开创
purpose
美好未来
in。staying true to our founding mission and pursuing a better future
以史
on
为
a
鉴
new journey that lies
开创
before
未
us.
来，必须坚持中国共产党坚强领导。
We must uphold the firm leadership of the party.
Oh, did y'all see that homie?
Of the
Look at homie on the left. That dude is asleep. He is sleeping up against the wall, mother. Boop.
办好中国的事情，
China's success
关键
hinges
在党。
on the party.
中华民族近代以来180多年的历史，
The more than 180-year
中国
long
共产党成立以来
modern history of the Chinese nation,
100年的历史，
the 100-year long history.
Wait. I thought Chinese history was 5,000. That was 5,000 years old. Strange.
Of the party.
中华人民共和国成立以来，
They put all the ethnic people up in the same area because they want to show them off. But look how small that is compared to the rest of the people. You know why? Because they kill them all.
The party.
中华人民共和国成立以来，
And that's not just like up against the wall type, socialism with Chinese characteristics. That's like we're going to move a bunch of Chinese men, kill all of your men by putting them in concentration camps. And then we're going to make party officials sleep in the same beds as your women. Those are facts. You can double check that.
70多年的历史，
And the more than 70-year
都
long
充分证
history
明，
of the People's Republic
没有
of
中国共
China
产党，
all
就
provide
没有
ample
新中
evidence
国，
that without the Communist
就
Party
没
of
有
China,
中华民族
there
伟
will be
大复
no
兴。
new China and no national
历史
rejuvenation.
和人民选择了中国
The
共产
party
党
was。chosen by history and the people.
中国共产党领导是中国特色社会主义
The leadership
最
of
本
the
质的
party
特征，
is the defining feature of
是中
socialism
国特色
with
社会主义
Chinese
制度的
characteristics
最大优势，
and constitutes the greatest
是党和
strength
国家的根本
of the
所在，
system. It
命
is the
脉所在，
foundation and lifeblood of the
是全
party
国各族人
and the
民的利益
country
所系。
and the crux
命运所系。
upon which the interests and well-being of all
新
Chinese
的征
people
程上，
depend. On
Gotta
the
show that
one
hammer and
hand,
sickle again.
we must
全面领导，
uphold the party's overall
不断完
leadership
善党的领导，
and continue to enhance its
增
leadership.
强四个意识，
We must
It's
be
like
deeply
6
conscious
birds in the pictures because, you remember when they killed all the birds.
坚
the
定
need
四个自信，
to maintain political integrity, think in
做
big
到
picture terms,
两
follow
个维
leadership
护，
core, and keep in alignment with the
牢
central party
记
leadership.
国之
We
大
must
者，
stay confident in the path, theory
不断
system,
提高
and
党
culture
科学
of
执政、
socialism with
民
Chinese
主执政、
characteristics. We
依
must
法
uphold
执
the
政
core
水
position
平，
of the
You
general
can't just say
system
socialism.
发
of
挥
the
党总揽
Look at all these lanyard dicks. I got my lanyard. I got my little medal because I'm a good party boy.
全局，协调各
party
方的
central committee
领导
and
核
in the
心作
party
用，
as a whole.
Look at this. Look at this guy on the bottom left. Like you're gonna have all those medals. Wear like a military uniform or something. Like what do you? Oh, I have my polo shirt and I got all these. I'm gonna pin all my Xi Jinping and Mao Zedong medals to my chest. I really love the party. I love it so much. Oh my! I just want to.
Uphold the
Boop.
central authority and the centralized unified leadership.
Oh, look at homie. This guy is getting a promotion. Look at him right here. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him in the middle right there. The front middle right. Look at him waving the flag. I love China. I love it, folks.
以史为鉴，开创未来。
As we put conscious effort into
必须
learning
团
from
结带
history to
领
create the bright
中国
future,
人民
we must bear the following
不
in
但为
mind.
美好生活而
We
奋斗，
must unitedly lead the Chinese people in working
江山就
ceaselessly
是
for a
人
better
民
life.
人
This
民就
country
是
is
江
its
山，
people and people
打
are the
江山
country.
守江山。
That means nothing. The people are its country and the country are its people. That doesn't mean anything. That's empty rhetoric. That's how you know that someone is just BSing you. Absolutely and wholly. Isn't that how Xi Jinping talks? Like Cartman? Guys! Hey, guys! My name's Xi Jinping. Socialism with Chinese characteristics, man. I just want to make the workers. They basically constitute China, and China is the workers, man.
We have fought to establish to consolidate our leadership over the country. We have in fact been fighting to earn and keep the people's support.
根基在人民，
The party has in the
血脉
people
在
its
人民，
roots, its lifeblood,
力量
and
在
the
人民。
source of strength.
People are the blood. That's why we bleed them dry, so we can make sure that we have hyper capitalism.
The fundamental interests of all Chinese
与人民
people.
休戚与共，
It stands with
Abby, are those Juhua? Do we have orange flowers here? I'm going to keep this. For anyone that only speaks English, you're not going to know what any of this means, and that's the fault of your monolingualness. But I think these are Juhua, because Xi Jinping looks like a Juhua.
生死相依，
through thick and thin and
没
shares
有任何
common
自己
fate
特
with
殊
them.
的利益，
The party has no special
从来不代
interests
表任何
of
利益
its
集团，
own. It has
任何
never
权势集
represented
团，
any individual
任
interest
何特权阶层的
power
利益，
group or privileged stratum.
任何想把中国共产党同中国人民分隔开来对立。
What's interesting is that Xi Jinping talks so much about the Chinese Communist Party, but he'll only say socialism. He won't even say communism. He won't say communism with Chinese characteristics. He won't say we're a communist country. He'll say the Communist Party of China, but that's about it.
立
By
起
the
来的
party
企图，
from the
Those
Chinese
are-
people or to set
So maybe Tanky's arguing that it's a communist party and a communist country. It's not. Maybe it's just socialist.
绝不会得
against
逞
the
的。
party is bound to fail.
9500多万中国共产党人
The
不答
more
应，
than
14
95
亿多
million
中国
party
人民
members
也
and
不
the
答
more
应。
than 1.
A country that they claim to have 1 billion people. Less than 100 million. So if their numbers are to be believed, which I don't think they should be, less than 10% are CCP members, which means less than 10% have any standing to have any say whatsoever.
In fraudulent country would never allow such
Very democratic.
a scenario to come to pass.
新的征程上，
On the journey ahead,
我们必须紧紧
we
依靠
must
人民
rely
创
closely
造
on
历
the
史，
people to create
坚持
history,
全心全意为人
upholding
民
the
服务的
party's
根
fundamental
本宗旨，
purpose of wholeheartedly
站稳人民立
serving the
场，
people. We will
贯
stand
彻党
firmly
的
with the
群众路
people,
线，
implement the
尊
party's
重
nice
人
line.
民手。
Wait. Did they change translators? It sounds like they changed translators. Maybe the last one was not like she didn't translate well enough, so they're just like up against the wall.
Respect the people's
践
creativity
行以人
and
民为中
practice
心的
a
发展思
people-centered
想，
philosophy of
发展
development.
全过程，
We will develop
人民民主。
whole process people's democracy,
维护社会公平
safeguard
正义，
social fairness and justice,
着力解决发展
and
不
resolve
平衡、
the imbalances
不充分
and
问题，
inadequacies in development.
向人民群众极难
And
筹判的问题，
the most pressing
推动人
difficulties
的
and
全面
problems
发
that
展，
are of
全
great
体人
concern
民
to the
共同
people.
富裕。
In doing so,
取
we
得
will make
更
a
为
more
明显
notable
的
and substantive
实
progress
质性进
toward
展。
achieving well-rounded human development and common prosperity for all.
These aren't even Chinese communist flags. Abby, you can't. Oh, she had to take a break. Well, you're probably right. I would like to point out, you can't see my cursor. Look at the flags, though, and then look at the flags on these guys. The middle guy here, with the white shirt. This is a Soviet flag. The guy with the Chinese flag on his left arm here, that's a Chinese flag. So these people aren't even flying Chinese flags. Flying communist flags. Chinese communist flags.
必须继续
Which I guess makes a little bit of sense, but
To adapt
still
Marxism
funny.
to the Chinese context.
马克思主义是我们立
Marxism
党立国的根
is
本指
the
导思想，
fundamental guiding
是我们党的
ideology
灵
upon
魂和
which
旗
our
帜。
party and country are founded. It is
中国共
the
产
very
党
soul
坚
of
持
our
马克思主
party
义
and the
基本
banner
原
which
理，
it
坚
strives.
持实事
The
求
Communist
是，
Party of China upholds the
从
basic
中国实
tenets
际
of
出发，
Marxism and the principle of
洞察
seeking
时代
truth from
大势。
facts based on China's reality.
Wait. It upholds the ideals of Marxism? So wait, the workers, Abby, did you know that the workers own the means of production in China? You know that the workers get to decide how they work, what hours they work, who works, at what time? That's news to me. I thought that they run it like slave labor, and that people like literally have suicide nets because they jump. Oh, that's right, because it's bullshit. Yeah.
We have developed keen insights into the trends of the day, seized initiative in history, and made painstaking explorations. We have thus been able to keep adapting Marxism to the Chinese context and the needs of our times,
不断推进
and to guide the Chinese people in advancing our great social revolution.
中国共产党为什么能？中国
At
特
the
色社会
fundamental
主义
level,
为什么好
the？capability of our party
归根
and
到
the
底是
strengths
因为
of socialism with Chinese
马克思主义
characteristics are
行
attributable to the fact that Marxism works.
Huh.
新的征程上，
On the journey
我们
ahead,
必须坚持
we must
马克
continue
思列宁主
to
义、
uphold Marxism,
毛泽东思
Leninism,
想、
Mao Zedong thought,
邓小平理
Deng
论、
Xiaoping theory.
三个代表
The
重要思
theory
想、
of three represents
科学发展观，
the scientific outlook on development
全面贯彻新时代
and fully implement
中国特色
the
社会
thought
主义思想
on。socialism with
Again, Deng Xiaoping was the farthest thing from a communist or even a socialist. So
its Chinese characteristics
坚持
for
把
a new
马克思
era.
主义基本
We
原理
must continue
同
to
中国
adapt
具体
basic
实际
tenets
Deng Xiaoping is the Chinese characteristic, which is hypercapitalism.
of Marxism
相结
to
合
China's specific realities.
同中华优秀传统文
Look at this guy. Look at this guy on the right here.
同
So, I assume that the people on the left are watching Xi Jinping. These people on the left are either watching to give them the benefit of the doubt, they're watching like a giant projection board. But like that guy is close enough where he could be watching Xi Jinping, which makes me think they're getting put up against the wall.
中华优秀传统文
And
化
its fun
相结
traditional
合，
culture.
用马克思主义
We will use
Whoa. Did he say that China has a traditional culture? 5,000 years, right? I mean, yeah. But they don't use traditional characters. Why would a traditional society not use the traditional characters? Could it be because this is all nonsense? And he hasn't said anything for the 40 minutes that he's been speaking?
Marxism to
时代
observe,
把握时代
understand,
引领时代
and steer the trends of our
继续发
times,
展当代
and continue to
中国
develop the
马克思主义
Marxism of contemporary
21
China
世纪
and in
马
the
克思主义
21st century.
See everyone wake up there? Oh, everyone's clapping. Oh, I'm clapping too. I'm clapping too. Oh, look at military boy. This is coup man right here. He's doing a coup. Next time Xi Jinping's up for election, that's coup man. That's my boy right there. Coup man. Coup man. Oh.
以史为鉴，开创未来，必须坚持和
We
发展
must uphold
I don't want to be ageist right now. But if my homie right there in the middle is the dude running the army,
and develop socialism with Chinese characteristics.
走自己的路，
We must follow our
是党
own
的
path.
全部理
This
论
is
和
the
实践
bedrock that
立足点，
underpins all the series and
更
practices
是
of
党
our
百年
party.
奋斗得出的
More
历史
than
结
that,
论。
it is the historical conclusion our party has
中国
learned
特色
from
社
its
会主义
struggles
是
over
党
the
和人
past
民历
century.
经千辛万苦
Socialism with Chinese
付出
characteristics
巨大代价
is
取得的根
a
本成
fundamental
就，
achievement of the party and the people.
是
Look
实
at
现
our
中华民族大复
Innumerable
兴的
hardships and
It's so
risks, and
traditional.
it is the right path for us
我们
to
坚持
achieve
的发
national
展中国特色
rejuvenation.
社会主义，推动
It's
As we
so
have upheld
Japanese. I mean
excellence in use of
traditional.
Chinese characteristics and driven coordinated progress in material, political, cultural,
生态文
ethical,
明协调
social,
发展
and ecological terms.
创造了中国式
We have
现代
pioneered
化新道
a
路，
new and
创
uniquely
造了
Chinese
人
path
类文明
to
新
modernization
形态。
and created a new model for
新的
human
征程上
advancement.
I love how these flags are not even, they don't even have the hammer and sickle on them. They're just red flags. And they're just red flags. I think that should be clear enough for anyone that is a fluent speaker of English. Like, they're red flags. These are red flags. So if you're buying into this, lots of red flags.
我们
On
必
the
须
journey
坚持
ahead,
党的基本理
we
论
must、adhere to the party's
基本
basic
路线
theory, line,
基本方略，
and policy.
Did she say lying? I think she said line, but it sounded like she said the party's basic
To
lying.
the party's
基本路
basic
线
theory, line.
基本方
Oh, the party's basic theory. Lying. This is great. I love it.
And policy.
I'm obviously being I'm being a little bit of a boop. So I gotta censor myself a little bit because I'm streaming right now, but that's what it sounded like she was saying. Which would be accurate.
统筹推进五
And
位体制
implement the five-sphered
协调
integrated
推
plan
进四个
and
全
The
面
five-sphered
comprehensive
integrated plan.
strategy.
全面深化
We
改
must
What is
keep on
it?
reform and opening up across the board.
新发展阶段，
Oh, he's not gonna tell us.
In this new stage of development, fully and effectively apply the new development philosophy and foster a new pattern of development. We must promote high-quality development
推进科技
and
自立
build up
自强
our，country's strength in
保证
science and technology.
人民
We
当
must
家作主，
ensure it is our people
坚持
who run the country.
依法治国，
Continue to govern
坚
based
持
on
社
the
会主
rule of
义
law
核心价
and
值体
uphold the
系，
core socialist
坚
values.
持在发展
We
中
must
保障
ensure
和
and
改善
enhance
民生
public，well-being in the
坚
course
持
of
人与
development.
自然和谐共
Promote
生，
harmony between
协同推
humanity
进
and nature,
人民
and
富裕
take well-coordinated steps
强盛
towards making our
中国
people
美丽
prosperous, our nation strong, and our country beautiful.
中华民族拥有在
The
5000多
Chinese
年历史
nation
演
has
进中形
fostered
成的
a splendid
灿烂文明。
civilization over more than 5,000 years of
中国共
history.
产党拥有百
The
年奋
party
斗实
has
践
also acquired
和70多
a
年
wealth
执
of
政兴
experience
国，
through its endeavors
经验
over the past 100 years and during more
我
than
们
70 years of
积极
governance.
学习借鉴
At the same time,
人类
we are
文
also
明的
eager
一
to
切
learn what lessons
有
we
益
can
成
from
果，
the achievements of other
欢迎
cultures
一切有
and
益
welcome
的
helpful
建议
suggestions
和善
and
意的
constructive
批评，
criticism.
但我们
I've got some constructive criticism for you, Shi.
教师爷般
Accept
颐使气指的
sanctimonious
说教，
preaching from those who feel they have the right to lecture us.
Don't lecture me. But I'll take criticism that I feel like is
中国共产党和
supportive of
中国人
me.
The party and the Chinese
将在
people
自己选择的道路上
will
昂首
keep
阔步
moving
走下去，
confidently forward
把中
in
国发
broad
展进
strides
步的
along
命
the
运
path that we have
牢牢
chosen
掌
for
握在
ourselves, and we
自
will
己
make
手
sure
中
the。destiny of China's development and progress remains firmly in our own hands.
以史为鉴，开创未来，必须加快国防
We
和
must
军队现
accelerate
代
the
化。
modernization of national defense and the armed forces.
强国必须强
A
军，
strong country must have a strong military.
才能国
Oh,
安。
here we
Only
go.
then can it guarantee the security
坚
of the
持党
nation.
指挥枪，
Here's what I would ask from people who I would call tankies. Maybe you wouldn't appreciate that. Maybe you should call for a drawdown from China. If they announced a giant drawdown and a denuclearization, maybe the U.S. would do the same. Maybe not, but calling for the U.S. to do the same wouldn't, I would argue, and I think many around the world would argue, wouldn't do the same for China. They're kind of admitting it here. We'll see what he says later, but I don't know. Why not try, right? If you really care about denuclearization. Just a thought.
At the point that it was engaged in violent struggle, the party came to recognize
China hasn't been involved in violent struggle since it invaded Vietnam and also launched missiles into Taiwan. Both aggressions on China's part. Just saying.
the irrefutable truth that it must command the ban and build a people's military of its own. The people's military has made indelible achievements on behalf of the party and the
Wait. How is it the people's military? Do the people control the military? Do they have a sovereign head of the military that can do things like pull them out of wars? Like, for all the flaws of the U.S. military-industrial complex, which I could do similarly, like a 3-4 hour stream on that, how many wars have the people been like, we need to pull out of this, and then the president, which Xi Jinping is not the president, he's the chairman, he's the autocratic dictator. How many has he been like, oh yes, people, I'm going to listen to these public opinion polls and pull out? Oh wait. 0.
It is a strong pillar for safeguarding our socialist country and preserving national dignity, and a powerful force for protecting peace in our region and beyond. On the journey ahead, we must fully implement the party's thinking on strengthening the military in the new era, as well as our military strategy for the new era. Maintain the party's absolute leadership over the people's armed forces, and follow a Chinese path to military development. We will take comprehensive measures to enhance.
What is a Chinese path to militarization? So we're gonna militarize? I thought that the tankies. I thought the tankies and the people that I thought they were for peace and demilitarization.
The political loyalty of the armed forces, to strengthen them through reform and technology and the training of competent personnel, and to run them in accordance with the law. We will elevate our people's armed forces to world-class standards so that we are equipped with greater capability and more reliable means for safeguarding our national sovereignty, security, and development interests.
Whew, this sounds like some jingoistic nonsense. Ramping up the military. Weird that a hyper-capitalist nation would try to ramp up its military-industrial complex.
以史为鉴，开创未来，必须不断推动
We
构
must
建人类命
continue
运共同体。
working to promote the building of a human community
和平
with
和
a
睦
shared
和谐
future.
是中华民
Peace,
族5000多年
concord,
来
and
追
harmony
求和
of
传承的理
ideas
念
the。Chinese nation has pursued and carried forward for
中
more
华
than
民族的
5,000
血液
years.
中没有侵略他人。
There we go. 5,000 years. Yeah, the CCP is the same as the Qing Dynasty. Oh, wait. They kind of are. Because they're an authoritarian power that commands absolute control and puts the workers in a sort of a fiefdom where they have no power because they crush unions. Kind of like America.
称王称
Does
霸
not
的基
carry
因。
aggressive or hegemonic traits
中
in
国
its
共产
genes.
党关注人类
The
前
party
途命
cares
运，
about the future of
从
humanity.
世界上一切进步力量。
Which is why they're continuing to burn coal and carry forth climate change. I won't say that's why their sky is gray right now. It could just be cloudy, but I mean, I I follow people in Beijing, reporters that talk about the smog and sandstorms, and they're building coal-fired plants.
And wishes
携手前
to
进，
move forward in tandem with
中
all
国
progressive
始
forces
终
around the
是
world.
世界和平的
China has
建设
always
者。
All progressive forces. I'm a progressive force. I'm in favor of progressive values. I think that workers should own the means of production, and we should democratize the workplace. Are you in favor of that, Xi Jinping? Nope.
worked to safeguard
全
world
球
peace,
发展的贡献
contribute
者，
to global development,
国际
and
秩序的
preserve
I apologize for stopping it so much. Peace? Is that where you're flying your fighter jets into Taiwanese air defense identification zones? That's peaceful? Because if Taiwan did that, you'd probably shoot them out of the sky. Doesn't sound very peaceful to me, but
international order.
oh, which international order? The one where we defend Saudis killing journalists in embassies? Is that one of the ones we defend, or is it the international order where we keep poor and working class people subjugated? Because that doesn't sound very communist to me. Which international order? Can you be more specific, Xi? Nope.
新的征程上，
On the journey ahead,
我们必须高
we
举
will remain
和平
committed
发展
to
合作，
promoting peace,
共赢的体
development,
制，
cooperation, and mutual benefit.
奉行独立
Did she say renmin instead of people?
To an independent
和平
foreign
外
development,
体制，
cooperate.
我们必须高
We
举
will remain
和平
committed
发展
to
合作
promote
征程上，
on the journey ahead.
我们必须高
We
举
will remain
和平
committed
发展
to
哦
promoting peace,
Sounds like she
development,
does.
cooperation, and mutual benefit.
奉行
Renmin means
To an
people, but
independent foreign
sounds like
policy of peace,
she didn't translate that.
坚持走和
and
平
to the
发展
path
道路，
of peaceful
But
development.
maybe I heard it wrong. If so, I'm
We will
sorry.
work to build a new type of international
推
relations
动构建人类命运
and
共
a
同体，
human community with a shared
推动
future.
共建“一带一路”高质量发展，
Promote high quality development of the Belt and
中国的
Road
新发展
Initiative through joint
为
efforts
世
and
界
The Belt and Road Initiative is absolutely colonization. They are debt traps to get poor countries to buy into them and to submit, basically. And if they can't pay back the debt, then they vote the same way that the Chinese want them to in the UN. That's neocolonialism. Pure and simple. If you're anti-colonialism, you should be anti-Belt and Road.
use China's new achievements in development to provide the world
中
with
国
new
共产党
opportunities.
将继续同一切
The party
爱好和
will
平的国
continue to
家和
work with
人
all
民一道，
peace-loving countries
弘扬
and peoples
和平
to promote
发展
the、shared human values
公平、
of peace,
正义、
development, fairness,
民主、
justice,
自由的
democracy,
全人类
and freedom.
共同价值，坚持合作，不搞对抗，
We will continue to champion cooperation over
坚持开放
confrontation,
不搞
to
封闭
open，up rather than closing our
坚
doors,
持互利共赢，
and to focus on mutual
不
benefits
搞零和博弈，
instead of zero-sum gains.
反对霸权主义和
We
强
will
权
oppose
政治，
hegemony and power
推动
politics
历史车轮向
and
着光
strive to
明的
keep
目
the
标
wheels
前
of
进。
history rolling toward bright horizons.
Whoa. You're going to oppose hegemony? Which hegemony? Which hegemony? Taiwanese hegemony? Chinese hegemony? Any hegemony? Because definitely not any. You're pushing forward Chinese hegemony with things like the 9-dash line, with things like going into Philippines fishing waters. This is not me supporting the Philippines. I think I've often spoken out about how Duterte is a dumb, and how I think he is a dictator, and he's obviously greenlighting murder of his civilians. But that doesn't mean they get to roll into their waters. Same like the Taiwan Air Defense Identification Zone. You don't just get to roll in there. That seems like hegemony to me.
We Chinese are the people who uphold justice and are not intimidated. By threats of force. As a nation, we have a strong sense of pride and confidence.
That's true, though.
We have never bullied.
Oh, you never bullied? You've never bullied Taiwanese people? Abby, have Chinese people ever bullied Taiwanese people? Can you clear that up? Because Xi Jinping, let's back this up.
A nation, we have a strong sense of pride and confidence.
They have confidence. That's true. They have pride and confidence.
We have never bullied
从来没有歧视啊。
or subjugated the people of any other country.
Whoa, no, they haven't. No, Abby, you're wrong. Xi Jinping said it. They haven't bullied. They haven't been discriminatory against any people. They haven't occupied places like Tibet. They haven't occupied Inner Mongolia and told them that they can't use their own language. They haven't gone to places like Xinjiang, East Turkestan, and said, you can't use your own language anymore. We're going to put you in concentration camps. They haven't said that they're going to take over Taiwan. They would never say that. Oh, this is the upside down world. We live in the upside down world, folks. Hashtag fake news. 过去没有，现在没有啦。Clap fast or you die.
By the same token, we will never allow any foreign force to bully, oppress, or subjugate anyone who would attempt to do so will find themselves on a collision course with a great wall of steel forged by over 1.4 billion Chinese people.
Ooh, that sounds like a threat. That sounds like he's saying... sounds like a threat. That's what I'll say. Yay! Imperialism! Yay! Imperialism! Woohoo! We're gonna... Yay! We haven't done anything bad, but if you say we did, we'll fight you.
We must carry out a great struggle with many contemporary features. Having the courage to fight and the fortitude to win is what has made our party invincible. Realizing our great dream.
That's some boop hubris right there. Invincible. We're invincible. That is insane. That's an insane thing to say. If I heard Joe Biden say, blah, 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 we're not we haven't done any colonialism, which would be equally as mind-numbing if the United States said it. And that's what makes us invincible. I would say that's probably because Joe Biden has a smooth brain. So does Xi Jinping. Smooth brain leaders. Hashtag smooth-brained leaders.
Will require hard work and persistence. Today, we are closer, more confident, and more capable than ever before of making the goal of national rejuvenation a reality.
必须准备付
but
出
we must be prepared
更
to
为
work
艰巨、
harder than ever to
更
get
为
there.
艰苦的努力。新的征程上，
On the journey
我
ahead,
们必须增强
we must
忧患意识，
demonstrate stronger vigilance
始终居安思危
and， always be prepared for
贯彻
potential
总体
danger
国家安
even
全
in
观，
times of calm. We must
统
adopt
筹
a
发展
holistic
和
approach to
安全，
national security that balances
统
government
筹
and
中华民
security
族伟大复
imperatives
兴战略
and
全局
implement the national rejuvenation
和
strategy
世界
within
百
a
年
wider
未有
context
之大
of
变
the
局，
once in a century changes taking place
深刻
in
认
the
识我
world.
国社会
We
主
need
要矛
to
盾变
acquire
化
a full
带
understanding
来的
Oh, they all whipped out their raincoats. Except for the truly patriotic people. I will get rained on in my raincoat. I don't care. I'm a Billy Badass and I'll get rained on. If my suit gets wet, that just shows my patriotism.
的
of the
新
new
特征、
features and
新要求，
requirements arising from the
深刻
change
认
to
识
the principal
错综复
contradiction
杂
in
的
Chinese.
Look at these people in the front. These young people, I feel so bad for them. They're literally forced to study Xi Jinping thought. A lot of those military people are probably also. And there have been articles coming out about saying, literally saying that if you don't study Xi Jinping thought, you might not get into the right university. But also, when you get into the working class life, you may not get like the promotion that you're looking for. Think about that. Think about if you had to study Biden thought. If you had to think about, this guy going, "Hey, bud, hey, listen here, fat. My ideology is that we should work with Republicans. And if you don't work with Republicans, and you don't think that America is the greatest country on earth, then you don't get your job promotion."
Society
国际
and
环
the
境
new
带来的
issues
新矛盾、新挑战，
and challenges stemming from a complicated
斗争
international environment.
善于斗争，
We must be both brave and
逢山
adept in
开道，
carrying out our courage and
遇
struggle,
水架
forging
桥
new， paths and building
勇
new
于战
regions
胜
whenever
一切
necessary to
风
take
险
us
挑战。
past all risks and challenges.
I put on my raincoat, but I still clap fast.
以史为鉴，开创未来，必须加强
We
中华
must
儿女
strengthen
大团结。
the great unity of the Chinese people.
在百年奋斗历程中，
In the course of our struggles over
中
the
国共
past
产党始
century,
终把统一战线
the party
摆在
has
重
always
要位置，
placed the united front in a position of
不断巩
importance.
固和发展最广
We
泛
The United Front, by the way, is basically a media op. It is basically China saying it's China admitting, which is kind of cool. Like, at least they admit it. But them basically saying, yeah, we do disinformation campaigns. Look it up, folks.
泛的统一
constantly
战线，
consolidated and developed the
团
broadest
结一切
possible
可以
united
团结的
front,
力量，
united all
调
the
动一
forces
切可
that
以
can
调
be
动的
united,
积极因素，
mobilized all possible
最大
and
限
positive
级
factors
最
that
大
can be
限度
mobilized
凝聚起
and pulled as
共同
much
奋斗的
strength
力量。
as possible for collective endeavors.
爱国统一战线是
The
中国
patriotic
共产党
united front
团结海内外全体中华儿女，实现中华民族伟大复兴的
important means for the
重要
party
法
to
宝。
unite all the sons and daughters of the Chinese
新
nation,
的征程
both
上，
at home and abroad, behind the goal
我
of
们
national
必须坚持
rejuvenation.
大团结、
On the journey
大
ahead,
联合，
we must ensure great unity and
坚持一致
solidarity
性
and balance,
和多样性统一，
commonality and diversity.
加强思想政治引领，
We should
What kind of
strengthen
diversity?
theological and political guidance,
广聚天
build
下
a
英
broad
才，
consensus,
努力寻
and
求
bring together
最
the
大
brightest
公约
minds
数，
and expand common ground
画出最大同心圆，
and the convergence of
形成
interests,
海内外全体
so
中华
that
儿女
all Chinese people,
兴旺一
both
处
at
想、
home and overseas,
兴旺
can
一处使
focus
的生
their
动局面
ingenuity and energy
汇聚起实
on the
现
same
民
goal
族复
and
兴
come
的
together as a
磅礴
mighty
力量。
force for
Look at
realizing
these people.
national
They're ready to
security.
clap. Oh, look at them. They're ready to clap. Woo! Clap, clap quickly. Oh, I'm gonna get killed. Oh my god.
以实践开创未来，不断
We
推进
must
党的
continue
建
to
设，
advance the
新
great
的
new
伟大工
project
程。
of party building.
勇于自我革命，是中国共产党区别于其他
A
政党
hallmark
的显
that
著标志。
distinguishes the Communist Party of China from other political parties
我们党
is
历
its
经
courage in
千锤
undertaking
百炼
self-reform.
而朝气蓬
An
勃，
important reason why the party remains
个
so
很重要的
vital and
原因，
vibrant despite
就是
having
我们
undergone
始
so
终坚
many
持党要
trials
还
and
党，
tribulations
全
is that
面
it
从严
practices
治党，
effective
不断
self-supervision
应对好自身
and full
在
and
各个
rigorous
历史时期面临的
self-governance.
风险考
It
验，
has thus been able to respond appropriately to the
确
risks
保我们
and
党在
tests
世
of
界形
different
势
historical
深
periods
刻变化的
to
历史进
ensure
程
that
中，
it always remains at
始终走在时代
the
前列，
forefront of the times,
在
even
应对
as
国内
profound
外各种
changes
风险
sweep
挑战
the
的历
global
史进程
landscape,
中，始终
and
成为
to
全
stand
国人民
firm
的
as the
主
backbone
心
of the
骨。
nation throughout the process of meeting various risks and challenges at home and abroad.
新的征程上，
Gotta clap.
我们要牢
On
记
the journey ahead,
打铁
we must keep
必
firmly
须
in
自
mind
身硬的
the
道理
old adage that it takes a good
Mhm.
blacksmith
增强
to
全面
make a
从严
good
治党，
steel. We
永
must
远在
demonstrate
路上
greater
的政治
political
自
awareness
觉，
of the fact that full and rigorous
以党
self-governance
的
is a
政治建设为
never-ending
统
journey.
领，继续
With
推进新
strengthening
时
the
代
party politically
党的
as
建
our
设
overarching
新
principle,
的
we must
伟
continue
大工程，
advancing the great new project of party building
不
in
断
the
严
new
密
era.
党的组织
Party
体系，
We
building.
must tighten the party's
着力
organizational
建设
system,
德才兼
work
备的
hard
高素
So we must create party building, which would theoretically be expanding, but we must also tighten it, which would that would mean lessening the amount of people that are in it. So we need to tighten it up. Again, double speak. It doesn't mean anything. He's talking nonsense. He's literally been talking for close to an hour. Not quite an hour yet. He's been talking close to an hour. He has said nothing. He said nothing in this hour. And a lot of politicians do this, but a lot of people I know stand people like this that think they are communist. He's saying absolutely nothing in this whole time.
to train high-caliber officials who have both moral integrity
坚
and
定不
professional
移推进
competence.
党风廉政建
Remain
设
committed
和
to
反腐败
improving
斗
party
争，
conduct, upholding
坚
integrity
决
and combating
清除一
corruption,
切
and
损
root
害
out
党的先
any
进性，
elements that would
和
harm the
纯洁
party's
性的因
advanced
素
nature and purity,
清除一切
and any viruses.
侵蚀党的健
I'm sorry, what does purity mean? Define purity. Does that mean being Han? Chinese? What does that mean? You haven't defined anything up until this point. You double speak everything. Socialism with Chinese characteristics. Like if you can't even define your terms, that leads me to think that purity means that you're gonna bow down to the leader, which is Winnie the excuse me, Xi Jinping.
康积极
That
的
would
并组，
erode its health.
确保党
We must
不变
ensure
质、
that the party
变
preserves
色、
its essence,
不变味儿，
color, and character.
What? Color? Color? I mean, that could be taken out of context, but like when you say like I mean, it's different. Like it's not America, but like the party color, we need to keep the color the same. Who? That's dangerous.
确保党
And see that
在新
it
时代
also
坚持和发展中国特色
serves
社会主
as
义
the
的
strong leadership core in the
历史进
core.
Yeah, Abby, what do you think that means? What do you think that color means? Because in America, what I would think that color means, when someone said like, "Oh, it's the color of the party," that would lead me to think that, like, best case scenario, you're talking about like the color of the country, like red or blue, like Democrat or Republican. But what I would initially think is that you're talking about race. You're talking about the skin color of the people. Yep. That's kind of what I think. I kind of think it's talking about skin color.
Of upholding and developing socialism with characteristics in the new era.
Pretty bad. Oh, Abby, clap. Abby, I hope you're clapping. Clap fast. If you don't clap, you get put up against the wall.
Comrades and friends.
同志们.
要全面准确贯彻一国
同
Stay true to the letter
志
of
们.
the principle of one country, two systems, under which the people of Hong Kong
Oh, one country, two systems. Let's talk about this. Yes, Abby, you're right. He is a racist piece of boop. One country, two systems means we rule you, you bow down to us, you do everything we say, and you like it. It's one country, one system. They've tried to do this with Taiwan, and Taiwan has rejected it because Taiwan doesn't want to be a subjugant of China. Hong Kong, because it was undemocratic from the jump, the powers that be, mainly Carrie Lam, who was handpicked by the CCP, said, okay, let's do that. What do they have now? One country, one system. They are part of China now. And I hope that that ends soon, because I have a lot of Hong Kong friends that they're not Chinese, they're Hong Kongers, and they don't agree with what China is doing. But there's no such thing as one country, two systems. That is colonialism. If you oppose colonialism, you should oppose this nonsense doublespeak of one country, two systems. It's nonsense.
Ministered Hong Kong and the people of Macau administered Macau.
对香港、澳
Both
门
with
特
a
别
high
行政
degree
区
of
There's
autonomy.
that fucking
Ensure that the
boop.
central government exercise overall jurisdiction over Hong Kong and
落
Macau.
实特别行政区维护
And
国家
implement
安全的法律制
The
度，
legal system and enforcement mechanisms for the two special administrative
维护国家主
freedoms
权安
to
全发展
safeguard
利益，
national security,
维护
while
特别行政区
protecting
社
China's
会大局稳
sovereignty,
定，
security, and
保持
development
香
interests.
港、澳门
What security breach did Hong Kong offer to China? How was Hong Kong dangerous to China? Security? There's no security risk with Hong Kong. If 7-ish million people said we don't want you to rule us, what security breach is that? I would like to say also, the Hong Kong protesters were so peaceful. I cannot guarantee, but for the sake of keeping myself on these platforms, I will say I would have been as peaceful as the Hong Kong protesters. Let's say that. Any reasonable protester would not have been as peaceful as they were. They literally cleaned up garbage. They would go to protest. They would take all the signs that they weren't going to use again, they'd fold them up, they'd put them in the recycling. I have pictures of this. Literally, you have never seen a more peaceful protest in your life. When it didn't get when it wasn't peaceful, you know who it was? It was Chinese-backed Hong Kong police force that made it unpeaceful. That's colonialism for you. That's what they're afraid of, is dissent. It is not about peace or unrest that they're afraid of. It is about dissent.
Ensure social stability in Hong Kong and Macau and maintain lasting prosperity and stability in the two special administrative
解决
regions.
台湾问题，
resolving the Taiwan question.
Oh, here we go. Taiwan, let's go.
China's complete reunification.
中国共产党
Reunification is the wrong word. There's no reunification. Taiwan has never been a part of China. It is throughout the CCP's rule, Taiwan has never been a part of China. That is a nonsense framing. If you buy into that, if you ever use the word reunification in terms of Taiwan, you're dumb. I mean, I don't like to bully people. I would love to have a conversation with someone who thinks that this is a legitimate take. It's not. Taiwan is not a part of China. It never has been. Taiwan controlled China. If you want to think that the ROC government is what Taiwan is, which is not anymore, because Taiwan is, I wouldn't say Taiwan is post-colonial. We still have remnants of colonialism. It's complicated. Just like all histories are complicated, but it is not, nor has it ever been, a part of China. There's no reunification to be had. Just as much as I can never remarry whoever you want to say, Megan Fox. I can't get remarried to Megan Fox because I've never even talked to her. And nor would I want to be married to her. I don't care about her. But I can't remarry her because we've never been married.
It's a historic mission and unshakable.
By the way, this is another thing that's been really popular recently. Is people saying, because you talked about her when you were here this weekend, Abby, it's the first celebrity female that I thought of. Anyway. So that's why I thought of her. It's the first person, Gwyneth Paltrow, whatever. That's the only other. I don't know any celebrities because I don't care about celebrities. I think celebrities are fine. Anyway, they're whatever. If you like celebrities, cool, enjoy them. But I don't care about them. I don't want to learn their names. I don't want to know about them. I don't want to know about their personal lives. In any case, you cannot reunify two things that have never been unified. That's my point. Similarly, this is colonialism, everyone. They're changing the narrative to make people who are uninformed think, well, they were together before, and then some separatists took it over. No, there was a Chinese Civil War. A horrible dictator fled to Taiwan, killed numerous amounts of people, just like the hero that they've been worshiping here, Mao Zedong. They were saying, oh, wow, great, we want to carry on the legacy of Mao Zedong. No, Mao Zedong is... There are people that take his legacy out of control and say he's the most murderous dictator in all of history. No. I mean, historically speaking, no. But he's a horrible person. He led to the deaths of millions of people. Just like Chiang Kai-shek led to the deaths of probably hundreds of thousands of Taiwanese people. And then led literally the longest martial law period up until, I believe, Syria. So probably in terms of world history, the second longest martial law period. Horrible person. Yeah, I agree with you. If you want to say like the leadership of the ROC that came to Taiwan and then tried to rule over it was awful, agreed. But Taiwan has moved past parts of that. They've gotten much better. It's democratic now. Has China? Oh, wait, folks. Has China gotten past its colonial roots and its authoritarian roots? Oh, wait. Nope.
Commitment of the Communist Party of China. It is also a shared aspiration of all the sons and daughters of the Chinese nation.
Sons and daughters of the Chinese nation. Oh, what does that mean? No one knows because it doesn't mean anything.
We will uphold the one country principle and the 1992.
I'm sorry, what does the one country principle mean? Who agrees to the one country principle? China does. Anyone else? Nope. 1992 consensus. Mine Joe agrees to that. China agrees to it. Does the DPP? Nope. Sorry, I muted it. I got too mad.
Patriots on both sides of the Taiwan Strait must come together and move forward. In unison, we must take resolute action to utterly defeat any attempt toward Taiwan independence and work together.
Oh, I'm sorry. What attack? Attack towards Taiwan independence. I believe he said. Let's back that up. Did he say Taipei independence?
Move forward. In unison, we must take resolute action to utterly defeat any attempt toward Taiwan independence and work together to create a bright future for national rejuvenation. We must take resolute action to utterly defeat any attempt toward Taiwan independence and work together to create a bright future for national rejuvenation.
He doesn't even say. It's nonsense. It doesn't mean anything. There's not going to be an attack. No one is. Literally the only people that are threatening attacks. Who are they? Excuse me. Anyone? Does anyone in the chat? Abby, do you want to say who is the only people that would attack in this, global initiative? Who has threatened to attack? Is it America? No, America hasn't threatened to attack. They've said that they would defend Taiwan, maybe, but basically they've said they would keep ambiguity. Has Taiwan said they would attack? Not since the ROC left power. So currently Taiwan isn't threatening to attack. Is it Tibet? No, Tibet. No, they've been subjugated by China. Is it Inner Mongolia? No, it's not Inner Mongolia. East Turkestan? No. Is it Kilimanjaro? Is it Chad in Africa? Did they threaten to attack? No. Brazil? No. Chile? No. Oh, sorry, Abby. I just saw what you said. China. Oh, yes, Abby. That's right. That is the correct answer. The only current power that is threatening to do any sort of military invasion of another country in this quote-unquote conflict. There's no conflict besides China. Oh, yeah. China is the one threatening to invade Taiwan. Taiwan isn't threatening to invade China anymore. They say we just want our freedom. Leave us alone. Even the U.S., which is a giant imperialist nation, I would argue in some ways, some people would push back against that, and some people would say I'm not pushing back hard enough. But I would ask you to say who is the U.S. threatening to invade China? I haven't heard any word of that. But certainly China is threatening to invade Taiwan, which has never been part of its sovereign soil, at least under the CCP. Yeah. And they've been recently, because we've been rolling up to our National Day, they've been sending jets into our airspace. Not into our technical airspace, but into our air defense identification zone. Has Taiwan been doing that? Has Taiwan been sending jets into China's air defense identification zone? Tough to say. The answer is no, because China is the aggressor. Fuck China.
No one should underestimate the resolve, the will, and ability of the Chinese people to defend their national.
The colonization, the will of the Chinese ruling class to push for colonization and to push for global, just pushing for, colonization. I mean, that's the best way to put it. I
National sovereignty and territorial integrity.
Well, Abby, you don't realize that they're burning more and more coal. They're opening up coal plants. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter to them. They don't really care about pollution because who dies? I don't know. People that they don't care about. you open up a coal plant in Hebei and tell the people that are of the Communist Party that are obedient to you to move to Beijing. It's okay. But you're right. The issue is that listen who is cheering for Chinese aggression. Next time I stream, I'll stream what Tsai Ing-wen said. And I don't agree with Tsai Ing-wen. Tsai Ing-wen has a lot of things that I disagree with. But she's not calling to invade Beijing. What is this? I'm sorry. Let's go back. Let's replay this. National sovereignty. National sovereignty over countries that they don't control. Yes, yes. We should invade other countries. Yes, imperialism. Yes, colonialism. Let's cheer for that. Look at all these young people cheering for that, because if they don't cheer for that, they get a gun put to their head. They get put in a fucking black site. Or not even that. They've been fucking brainwashed.
Comrades and friends.
同志们，我们要把台湾当我们的殖民地。哦，拍谁？台湾是我们的同胞子。
未来属于青年。
The future belongs to the
希
young
望寄予
people,
青年。
and our hopes also rest with them.
100年前，
A century ago,
一群新青
a
年
group of young
高举
progressives
马克思主义思想
held
火炬，
aloft the torch of
在
Marxism
风雨如晦的中国苦苦探寻
and searched
民族复兴
assiduously
的前
in
途。
those dark years for ways to
100年
rejuvenate the
来，
Chinese nation. Since
在
then,
中国共产党的旗帜下，
under the banner of the Communist
一
Party
代
of
代中
China,
国青年
generation after
把
generation
青年
of
奋
young
斗
Chinese
融入党和
have
人民事业。
devoted their youth.
I love this. This is similar to what a lot of Western powers do. The young people, the young people, the young people. Look at the people. Xi Jinping, not young. Look at the people surrounding him. I just showed you. They're like, this is not a anti, like, old people argument, because one of my favorite politicians in the United States is Bernie Sanders. He's old as fuck. But don't pretend like it's the young people. The young people are doing what you say because you've brainwashed them, and because if they don't do what you say, they will be ostracized. It's nonsense.
中华民族伟大复兴的
And
先锋力
remain
量。
in the vanguard of the drive to rejuvenate the
新时
nation.
代的中国青年
In the new era,
要以
Our
实
young
现中华
people
民族伟大复兴为己
should
任
make，it their mission to contribute to
做
national
中
rejuvenation
国人的
and aspire
志气
to
Let's
become
look through here.
more proud, confident,
气
and assured
不
in
负时
their
代
identity as Chinese
Are these
people,
young people?
so that they
韶
can
华
live up to the promise of their youth
不负
and
党和人民的
expectations
殷切
of our
希望。
Chinese
They have the
party
token young
party.
people. Oh, show the young people. Oh, we're clapping. We're clapping very fast for you, Xi, because we love you. Because if we don't, we'll be ostracized. Oh, we love you. Show the party elites. These are not party elites.
同志们、朋友们，
Comrades and friends,
100年前，
Not particularly young, but not particularly old. I'll give them that. These are not super old people. I'm not saying this guy's like a geriatric, but not particularly young.
a century ago,
中国共产党成立时
at
只有
the
50
time
多
of
名
its
党员
founding,。the Communist Party
I'm sorry, are these people particularly young? Some of them are moderately young. These are not young people, though.
of China
今
had
天已
just
经成
over
为拥
50
有
members.
9500
Today,
多万
with
名
more
党
than
员。
95
This woman might be young. The person next to her has gray hair. The next person doesn't look super young, and the next person has a receding hairline. I am not here to talk shit on people with receding hairlines. I have one too.
million
Allegedly.
members in a
14
country
亿多人
of
口
more
大
than
How many people in this picture look young? I see a bald guy. I see one. I'm not going to count all the people. Multiple people with gray hair. Multiple people with receding hairlines. This isn't the young people that you think they are. And again, I'm not talking. I'm not. I don't. I'm not an ageist. I'm not saying we're starting a revolution with the young people. No, I think we should start a revolution with all people, with workers, because workers aren't just young. They're old, young, middle-aged, everything. That's who we should fight for. But these are not young people, bud.
1.4 billion people.
Average 50 years old.
And enjoys tremendous international.
So 100 years ago, these people were basically being born. So they're half as old as the CCP.
A century ago, China was declined and withering away in the eyes of the world. Today,
Wow, that sounds like he's talking shit on Mao. 50 years ago, the CCP was doing terribly because Mao was a garbage leader. I think Xi Jinping. I think Xi Jinping should be put up against the wall.
the image it presents to the world is one of the thriving nation that is advancing with unstoppable momentum toward rejuvenation.
Yeah, exactly, Abby. Also, I just saw that your comment about the KMT. Exactly. The CCP has about as much control as the KMT has over its young people. It's ridiculous. Oh, yes. Xiaohongshu. Yeah, exactly. We read the Little Red Book. We love it, don't we, folks? We love the Riddle Red Book. The Little Red Book. And it's not the Little Red Book, R-E-D. It's the Little R-E-A-D, Little Red Book. Oh, I attacked your little manifesto. What are you going to do, folks?
It is rallying and leading the Chinese people.
Look at this again. They put these people in their little costumes first and forefront, but it's just like one person. And you're talking about we have so many different people. We're such a multicultural system. We love our people. We aren't doing a cultural genocide in Xinjiang. We love our people. We love Tibetans. That's why we're killing their language. We love Inner Mongolians. That's why we're destroying their language.
On a new journey toward realizing the second centenary goal. To all party members, the Central Committee calls on every one of you to stay true to our party's founding mission and stand firm in your ideals and convictions, acting on the purpose of the party. You should always maintain close ties with the people.
Wait. Close ties with the people or close ties with the party? Because I would argue that I think it's good to create close ties with people, but not with the party.
Empathize and work with them. Stand with them.
It's funny because if the people want to organize, they're not allowed to. They're often broken up. And this makes me want to drink.
Through good times and bad, and continue working tirelessly to realize their aspirations for a better life and to bring still greater glory to the party and the people. Comrades and friends, today, 100 years after its founding, the Communist Party of China is still in its prime and remains as determined as ever to achieve lasting greatness for the Chinese nation. Looking back on the past, we have traveled and forward to the journey that lies ahead. It is certain that with the firm leadership of the party and the great unity of the Chinese people of all ethnic groups, we will achieve the goal of building a great
All ethnic groups. How about the Taiwanese? How about the Taiwanese indigenous people that don't agree with you?
socialist country all respects and fulfill the Chinese dream of national rejuvenation.
What does national rejuvenation mean? Also, to Abby's point, look at how old this group of people is. Yay, this means nothing. Yay, you're saying nothing. Empty words. Yay.
Long live our great, glorious, and correct party.
Correct. We're correct. We're correct. Yay. Yay. This guy's very young. Yay. Young party. Very young. Those people are not young, but they're not in power.
Long live our great, glorious, and heroic.
Again, I'm not saying that if you're old or young, I don't want you in power. I want you in power if you have the right ideas. This guy is saying you need to be young to be in power. Yay, we can't see anyone because there's just a bunch of people that we forced to be here. Woo! Clap. Yay, wave the flag or you get put against the wall. Yay, some of us are wearing ties and some of us are not. Yay, wave the flag. Yay, we're all middle-aged. Yay. This doesn't mean anything. Yay, this is a boop. Showing of our political pride. Yay, this is nationalism. Yay. Woohoo. We're just going to keep clapping because it doesn't mean anything. Oh, look at the people that aren't waving flags in the back because they don't think they're on camera.
Please all rise. To the International.
Nope. I will not be playing this. Xi Jinping doesn't know the words to this song, and that's why he's standing with his mouth open like Winnie the Pooh. Look at all these people. Look at these. Look at all these young leaders. Look how young they are. Wow. This is like probably 23, maybe 27. Like probably 27 here on the right of Xi Jinping. On the left of Xi Jinping, going to the left, we probably have like 32. Like he's looking a little old. And then next to that guy is like, that guy's probably like 35. Like he's pretty old. He's like has no hairline. 35 maybe. The guy next to him, that guy has a full head of hair. Probably 29. And then the guy next to him, like even less hair than anyone we've talked about. Probably like, that guy's probably like 30, maybe 37. Woo, really pushing it, really old. But, still pretty young, And then the guy on the far left, he's probably on the outs of the party. Like, that guy's probably like 38. Really old, super old. Like, 38 is so old. Like, look at him. He's got no hair. You can't see any of his hair. 38 probably. Like, he's got to be about ready to retire. Because I think at 38 is when you retire. Oh, wait. How old is Xi Jinping? Remember, all these people, look along here, along the horizon. Very young. Very young. The party is very young. Communism. Hammer and sickle. But we don't allow unions. No unions in China. We will crush unions with the hammer. And then with the sickle, we'll yoke around their neck. Look at these military leaders, also very young. Very young. Those guys are so young. I mean, how old is this guy in the front here? He's probably 27. Man, China is a very young nation. Again, another shot of very young people. These people look very happy. Look at these people in the middle here. Very happy. Qingzhou.
Ceremony marking
Celebrate. Oh. Oh, wait. What? Are these pigeons? Abby, your favorite. You got a shower. Look at these pigeons, Abby. These are your favorite birds. Pigeons. Bye, she. See you, she. Bye, bye. Bye, bye. Bye, bye. Bye, bye. Bye. That's what they're saying right now. Very clean birds, Abby, is what you need to say. I actually don't dislike pigeons, but it's funny that they pretend they have birds after they've killed so many of them. I like that we can hear like any of the audio. Like this is just. Oh, I like those tubas. I guess I'm listening to double time, so. Oh, yeah, that's an. Let's also remember, with their coal-fired plants, they're also releasing a ton of helium balloons into the atmosphere. This is very good for the environment. These balloons definitely. These balloons, what they do, they're clearly all biodegradable. Abby, pigeons are not gross. They're kind of cute. And we should take care of all animals because we should all be vegetarian. But look at these balloons. These balloons are definitely not going to kill all those birds. They're definitely going to float back down to the earth, and the Chinese people will clean them up. They're definitely not going to just like let these balloons just pop in the middle of the air and float down and create a bunch of debris inside of the ocean that probably winds up in places like Taiwan. Very clean, very, very beautiful. Let's fast forward through this. Is there anything else? Nope. All right, we're done. Well, folks, what I would like to say is that I love you so much. Oh my gosh. Wow. What was that? Why are these ads so ridiculous? Yeah, exactly. They'll be on the coast in a week. What I would like to say is that we love you so much. Abby and I, we love you because we're both part of the beautiful FCP team. We're such big fans of y'all, and we're so young. We're so young, folks. We're all 18. We're only 18. We're forever 18, just like Xi Jinping. And we love each other too. We're just a big happy family. You guys, we appreciate you. We actually do, unlike the CCP. But unlike the CCP, we don't control all the wealth in China. So what we need you to do is go to the FCP.com, so FreeChinaPost.com, and if you have, and she's definition, exactly, and if you have an ad blocker, we need you to turn that off because that's garbage, just like Xi Jinping. And we need you to click on any ads that you find interesting. Check them out. That will help us out. The other thing you can do is go to patreon.com/FreeChinaPost. Then you can subscribe, and you don't just subscribe. You'll get like goodies from us, whether that's access to the Discord, whether that's things like stuff we make ourselves, like propaganda posters or postcards that we will send you. Those are also pretty cool and made in Taiwan, and also most of it's photography in terms of the postcards of Taiwan. So you can do that, and you'll also see a lot of cool stuff. And if you can't do any of that, just share via word of mouth, and we would appreciate it if you go to like YouTube and subscribe, ring the bell, Obviously on Twitch, we would like if you would subscribe. You could also do other things like share with your friends, share via word of mouth, subscribe on like Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, blah 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 blah. All those things you can subscribe on, and if you tell your friends, it will help us a lot. So we do appreciate it, and I also appreciate you struggling through this with me, because I am about to fall asleep because of how ridiculously insane that whole thing that we just did was. But I love you, and I will tell you that, in fact, 当不是最大 actually FCP 最大